But at Boston Logan International Airport,
Your ticket for Leftos to write a guest there.
this South American traveler is coming to see more than the sights.
Tu novio una residente aquí, Ciudad Mexicana. The travelers come in for 6 months to see her boyfriend. 6 months generally is a long period of stay, so we just need to verify the story.
A Spanish-speaking officer helps out.
Sí.
The traveler's free.
The concerns of anybody who has lived in that country is coming here.
What's up, people? I got something for y'all, man. This is hilarious. Challenging jurisdiction. No court has a right to challenge. No court has a right to not challenge to challenge jurisdiction. No court can say that they got the right of jurisdiction. Okay. Trying to get it up here. Administrative law judges. No judge has jurisdiction over any living beings whatsoever, just on corporation companies. Okay. From subject matter to administration, subject matter, law enforcement, all of that. No judges have jurisdiction whatsoever. Okay. And the courts cannot say that they have jurisdiction. That's been in so many appeals courts and everything else. All right. And it's also in Madison. It's also in Madison, which is a very popular case from 18. It's from 18. Where is it at? No state or local government has jurisdiction over the courts, over the living being. The Constitution is the superior clause of the land. Okay? Federal courts have all jurisdictions over superior courts and their decisions. All right? That's in Madison, one of the cases in Madison, right? And then you got 1789 on September 24th, 1789, Mulberry versus Madison. Okay. And the ruling was from a judge called John Marshall, ruled that no courts have jurisdiction over the people. No courts have jurisdiction. 1789. It's unconstitutional for any court to claim that they have jurisdiction over a body, over the living body. Okay? And then in 1789, this is the best part. In Mulberry, the court held that the Principle of Jurisdiction Acts of 1789, established by Mulberry to bring this claim to the Superior Court, was itself unconstitutional, since no courts have jurisdiction over the living body whatsoever. Wow, that's amazing. Wow. Now there's another one right here on the Madison. This was a constitutional ruling where it states that all laws are only created by the federal government. They have more power than any courts in the United States. Okay? John Marshall, Judge John Marshall, has commented and ruled that no laws that is committed in the United States can be laws by violating the original Constitution and the superior court laws of the land. No government, no Congress, no president, no government whatsoever can pass laws. No government can pass laws. Read your original Constitution. Read your original and this is the ass kicker right here. This is the ass kicker right here. Okay, this right here is an ass kicker. State or local laws held to be unconstitutional by the federal laws. All state laws are void and not to be considered as any principle of the Constitution, but rather because they are conflict with the federal statute or trade, and through operation of the Superior Court clause, state laws are unconstitutional. State laws are unconstitutional. The federal court has held that under the Constitution, federal laws can takes priority over state laws, and the final power to to determine whether federal laws are unconstitutional but designed to the federal courts. The courts, therefore, has held that the state do not have the power. The state do not have the power to enforce any laws or make laws. All laws states make is void. All laws state makes are void. They are void, and they conflict with federal laws and the Constitution. The Constitution is the superior clause of the land. The Constitution is the law of the land. State laws are unconstitutional. Man, I pulled up this case in Minnesota. It goes way back to 1965 and all the way up to 1988, again in 1999, again in 2000, again in 2023. And the Superior Court of Minnesota ruled, quote unquote, that all codes, rules, and regulations are for government official employees only, not divided citizens. All codes, rules, and regulations are for government employees only, not for the divided citizen. Minnesota, 2023, ruling 6-2. Ain't that amazing? 6-2. All codes, rules, and regulations, penal codes, are for government employees only, not the divided citizen. Then you look at this case right here, NAACP of freedom of speech. NAACP commenced Superior Court decision to protect free speech in cases defining true threats. Okay, I can't pronounce this. Common versus Colorado. The court ruled that the First Amendment requires that the government to strike down reckless charges against people and threats that the prosecutor proceeds against defendants. Okay? This guy was emailing some girl, some person that was a single, whatever, and she took everything way out of hand, like this punk public defender judge did with me, and everything. This punk ass I forgot his name, but I got his name on the paperwork. Prosecutor. All right. So it turned around, and it also goes in the same way that they did their report on this guy, the same fucking way. And thank God that he kept all of his videos and stuff to prove to the courts. Now, what they said, and it went to Superior Court. So the United States Superior Court ruled not only in his favor, but ruled in everybody else's favor about freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and freedom of expression. Okay? First Amendment rights. First Amendment rights. Threats are protected by the First Amendment of the Constitution. No ifs and no buts. ACLU. 2023. ACLU. Okay, the First Amendment requires that the government to prove that the defendant actually was incapable, mentally status, and not mentally that his words were subject to threatening. No. My statement was, quote, unquote, I'm coming after y'all what the law says I got a right to do. And the constitutional right to sue you. Now, I got videos on here, man. I pulled this up where cops threaten to shoot people, blacks and Mexican people, you know, and the way they turn around, curse you out and everything else. And it's so amazing how pigs, cops, sheriff, deputies could threaten us and kill us, and they get patted on the hand. So I was watching the news today, CNN News. I think it was out of Texas or Alabama, where this guy fought back the police, shot that motherfucker. Good. Less dirty cop on the street. So they held him for murdering this pig, but they forgot about one important thing, like his attorney filed a motion for dismissal because the constitutional right out of, it was Alabama or Georgia, stated that a defendant got the right, once an officer puts their hands on you wrong, a defendant got the right to protect himself, whether by killing the pigs or not. The defendant got the right to protect themselves. And that's the bottom line, you know? And so then his case was dismissed, which was beautiful, you know? They stopped him for no reason because he was African-American, driving a nice car, and that's what they get. You know, he fought back and he had every right. He didn't violate no laws or nothing. He's driving a nice car, hardworking guy. Because you're driving a Cadillac, you either a drug dealer or you just no good, you know? And that's the problem with these fucking pigs, even these house nigga pigs and house nigga bitches, you know? They need the same thing happen to them, you know? The only way it'll be a even playing field is when these dirty motherfucking pigs, cops, sheriffs, deputies, and judges get their family members done the same way that we do. That's the only way it'll be a fair playing field. The only way, you know? Like this one judge, she gets locked up. And they have to drag her ass across the courthouse. This judge gets locked up. This is a judge, former judge. She gets dragged across the ground and stuff. She gets busted for conspiracy, retaliation, perjury, fraud. Those inmates got tired of fucking doing that shit to them, man. So they didn't even know. The bitch didn't even know she was under investigation. But this is the best thing about it. She not only was removed from being a judge for conspiracy, allowing fraud documents into the courts, fraud testimony, planting evidence, removing court records. She was ordered to spend 6 months in jail, right? And she had to pay all the court fees by the judge. She had to pay all of the court fees, even her time in the jail, right? So the update was here. The judge warned her, if she violates any of those terms, she'll go straight to fucking prison, right? Guess what she did? She violated the terms, And on February 2023, she was sentenced to prison for 6 years. For 6 years. She was sent to prison for 6 years. For 6 years. This happened in 2022. She was sent to prison for 6 years. That's good for her ass. And then you got them prosecutors that's getting hammered now, going to prison for fraud, conspiracy, retaliation. You got a lot of them motherfuckers going to prison now. A lot of these good judges are not taking this bullshit from these motherfuckers no more. A lot of these good judges, wait a minute, I took an oath of office. I took an oath for the people and to protect the constitutional rights and their constitutional rights. I took an oath to the office, to the Constitution, you know. And you got judges now. You got some judges now, man. They ain't playing this shit with these motherfucking judges and prosecutors and attorneys, man. Then you got an attorney in Minnesota, 2022. He tried to commit not only conspiracy to commit perjury, but he also had his client to commit perjury. So as the court was going on, the public defender didn't realize he about to go to jail. Yeah, he about to go to jail. That stupid ass boy, house nigga, was about to go to jail. Him and his client. And they put them both in jail. They smacked on him conspiracy to commit perjury, conspiracy to have your client commit perjury, conspiracy, false evidence, false documents. So they get that attorney from the public defender's office, right? Then he gets hit with federal violation of federal laws. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Then he got hit with violation of federal laws. You know, it's pretty good. Now, I got on here so many cases, man, where the United States Superior Court overruled a lot of people's shit because the judges were biased, retaliation, et cetera, and the prosecutor. Where now they're going at the prosecutors, you know, for, see, I'm going to tell you something else here. It says here, there has been a few Superior Court cases that support lawsuits and prosecution against prosecutors, judges, police officers in the United States. Okay, you got Supreme Court cases where judges have been prosecuted. Okay, in which the court in 1807, in which the court held that a judge can be impeached for treason against the oath of office and jailed and imprisoned for high crimes. Anytime now this comes from the United States Superior Court. Anytime a judge violates the oath of office, they have committed treason. They have to be immediately removed off the bench and face the consequences with the court's panel, the jurisdiction panel that oversees judges' jobs and judges. They have to. No ifs and no buts. If anybody in a courtroom says that you have violated your constitutional right, your oath of the office, you have committed treason, and it has to be looked into immediately. The judge has to immediately be removed off the bench until further notice. Once this comes from the United States Superior Court, okay? From the United States Superior Court.
In which the court held that a judge can be impeached for treason, bribery, or other purpose, which includes corrupt conduct.
Now, this also includes corrupt conduct, retaliation, removing court documents, corrupt, contempt of court, violation of their oath of office.
Just in 1950.
Another Superior Court case that supports the prosecution and removal of a prosecutor, judge, police officer, any law enforcement, and to be held for violation of the oath of office, which is treason. In Michigan, 1955, in this case, the court held that a judge cannot cannot violate their oath of office. If the judge or prosecutor does, they are in violation and they have to be treated as treason against the Constitution. Prosecutor held in evidence, they violated their oath of office and they have to be held for treason against the Constitution and the people. 1955. Okay? Then you got another case. In 2020, United States Superior, it's 2023. The Superior Court has held that a private citizen can hold a judge, a prosecutor, police officers, the works. They can held and win and file in court. They violated their oath of office and they violated the constitutional rights. No judge, no law enforcement, under no circumstances can violate their oath of office. If they do, they have committed treason against the people and against the constitutional rights. And it is the duty of the judges panel that investigates judges. It is their duty to remove them immediately and hold them accountable. Once they violated their oath of office, it is their duty. 2023, United States Superior Court. Ain't that amazing? Then you got in there about jurisdiction. No judge can say he has jurisdiction over anything or anybody. No judge can. No prosecutor can. They can't say shit that they got jurisdiction over me because they don't. You see? Anytime a prosecutor holds back any kind of evidence that exonerate and protects the defendant is in violation of his oath of office, has to be removed and taken into custody immediately. United States Superior Court, 2023 ruled that. See, they snuck that in. They didn't even want people to know this until the federal judge I know sent that to me, and I looked it up, and I'm like, son of a bitch, they snuck that in, so they worrying about that bitch-ass Trump's court case and shit, and they just sneaking shit in there on the people so they could just find it the hard way to just sneak shit in there, and it was sent to me. They said, look it up. Ain't this amazing? They didn't want the public to know this shit, but judges know this stuff. Judges know this. See, this judge not only violated his constitutional rights, but there was no probable cause. I got the right to say I'm going to sue you. I got that right. Everybody got that right to say they're going to sue somebody. Everybody got that right to sue. But when you commit conspiracy and you violate your oath of office, you through. You ain't even supposed to be on the bench. And you see, I even said that on record. I even told that judge, you violated my constitutional rights. And these people are so stupid, is where they admitted in their police report because he said they racist. Yes, they racist. I got that constitutional right to call somebody racist. You can't tell me what to say, what not to say. Yeah, you fucking racist. You racist motherfuckers, point blank. You see, I got that constitutional right to say that. You see, no man and no woman gonna tell me what I'm allowed to say and what I'm not allowed to say. I don't give a fuck, you know? And so they put all of that in the police report, you know, where he called them racist. He's coming after you with a lawsuit and you violated his constitutional rights. You committed conspiracy. You committed perjury. You committed, you allowed fraud documents in the courts. Well, they did. Nobody investigated nothing. I'm not just saying this. I know this for 1,000% fact true. Everything I'm saying is 1,000% true. Every fucking thing I'm saying. That bitch judge was racist. Racist. There was a black guy before me, and I was sitting in the courtroom, and he had a white attorney. Nice lady. Nice attorney. I'm watching her, listening to her. That was a hell of an attorney. As far as I can hear, that was a hell of an attorney, you know? And the guy's girlfriend or ex-wife that he's trying to get away from, she gets on there and stuff and says all of this bullshit about him. Then when the guy's attorney gets up, shows the courts, well, she has called the police on him numerous times when he's not even there. He's at his mother's house. She had lied on police reports. She had lied on restraining orders. She has lied continuously. She called this job several times, almost got fired. Here's a statement from his boss. She kept calling and calling and calling. We asked her not to call no more, and that poor man could have went to jail for nothing. For nothing. Because this woman said this bullshit. For nothing, that man could have went to jail. But that lady, his attorney, I don't know if she's a lawyer or an attorney, because there's a big difference. A lawyer fights for you, an attorney doesn't. Attorneys are court-appointed attorneys. Their duties and oath is to the courts, not to the defendants. Their only duty is to make sure they make a deal or get your time. That's it. Public defenders are not for you. So you got a big difference. You got lawyers and you got attorneys, even though none of them are licensed, because they're licensed with a bar association. That's where they pay their dues to. Anybody could be an attorney. Anybody could defend, can help defend you. It could be a washing machine worker. It could be a bus driver, a mechanic. Anybody can defend anybody. That's in the Constitution, right? So anyway, I don't know what happened to that, but I was like, damn. Then this is how racist they are also in the courts. This girl in Faribault, she attacked her boyfriend. Now, mind you, she not only attacked him, she threw some kind of liquid on him and bust his head open with a bottle, right? And tried to stab him, right? She got a $500 bond. I think she was white. A Mexican guy got up there, didn't even hit his woman or nothing. Didn't even hit his woman. This motherfucker got held with no bond for domestic violence. But this broad tried to kill her boyfriend. She get a $500 bond and no jail time. But this Mexican guy didn't even assault his woman. He's trying to run away. Just as he's running out the house, he runs into the deputies and they lock him up. And he's been held there ever since for domestic violence. That's the way the system is, man. The system is corrupt. And we got to take down every corrupt judge, public defenders, deputy sheriffs, pig-ass police officers. We got to take them all down, man. We got to remove them from office, man. We have to remove them from office. It's so amazing how they know that the system is racist. The federal government did a study, and it came out this year. It came out June this year. It said, yes, police officers in all states, from the police officers to the judges to the prosecutors, they give African-American and Spanish people more time than they do whites for the same fucking crime. Some whites get cases dismissed faster before they even do it to African-American or Spanish or Indian. They get their cases dismissed quicker than a black or Mexican, or if you're not all white. They put that report out there. So the feds know that racial profiling is there. But the courts don't give a fuck. The only time the courts give a fuck is when you start suing these motherfuckers, man. When you start suing them. And in the Constitution, I don't give a fuck what no motherfucking judge got to say or anything else. In the Constitution, you lose all immunity when you violate your oath of office. That's been established. Also, there's no such thing as immunity for nobody. For nobody. No such thing. That was a made-up word so these motherfuckers can protect their assets and everything else. There's no such thing. There's so many cases all over the United States is bringing up Immunity denied. Immunity denied. Immunity denied. Immunity denied. On judges, pigs, cops, sheriffs, deputies, court clerks, immunity denied. Immunity denied. You know, you violated your oath of office. You violated this man's constitutional rights or this woman's constitutional rights. You be held. You be the lawsuits can proceed. The criminal charges can proceed against you for conspiracy, retaliation, hate. Man, I say it again, man. This one judge, I don't know her name. I'm watching on the news, man, and she held this fucking deputy held without bail for rape and molesting his kin, his family members. Held that motherfucker for rape. That's what it should. Anytime you rape a woman and molest a child, you shouldn't have no fucking bail. You should have no bail whatsoever. That shouldn't even come out of a motherfucker's mouth. Period. You know, I can't stand people like that. When you rape a woman and you hurt a child, oh man. Man, you don't deserve to live, man. You deserve the electric chair. China got the best fucking laws, man. You rape, you sentenced to death. Drugs, sentenced to death. This is the best one of them all, and I wish that law was in the United States. But only white women try to remove this law. When you commit adultery in China, whether you're a woman or a guy, you are sentenced to death. You are sentenced to death for adultery in China. You are sentenced to death for drug trafficking. You are sentenced to death for rape or child molestation. You are sentenced to death. You are sentenced to death. Them are the best fucking, China got the best motherfucking laws, man. Because you think twice before you rape a child. You think twice before you're going to rape a woman. China got the best laws. You think twice to commit adultery because your ass is sentenced to death. They just did, and they sentenced to death Jews out there in China. Oh yeah, they sentenced to death Jews in China for trying to overthrow their government and kidnapping Chinese kids. All 11 of them motherfuckers got sentenced to death. And the China, the American embassy and the Chinese, the Jewish embassies, no, you can't send out people to that. You in my country, your laws don't mean shit to us. That's the way China should be. Fuck America. We get everything from China, the Philippines, Taiwan, Mexico, and London. Everything you buy in your stores come from overseas. We haven't made shit in over 60 years, man. When these businesses, these judges that let these businesses file bankruptcy, they got kickbacks. They got between $2 to $3 million kickback. So they allow them to file bankruptcy in the United States because they don't want to pay the United States employees health care, insurance, and all that shit. You see? And they talk about how Walmart is ripping off the government, but the government ain't doing shit. So how you gonna get these people for tax fraud and extortion when they let Walmart do the same shit? You know, China got the biggest motherfucking Walmart, and everything you get in your shelf comes from China. The Walmart in China. China got the biggest motherfucking Walmart in China. But China woke up though. China took over threw out a lot of CEOs out of China. That's from America. China, every country's waking up. Fuck the United States. Fuck the United States. China woke up. Every African country woke up. Everybody's waking up. It's no more. You woke up a sleeping dog, as they say. Everybody's learning their rights and stuff. You know, it's no more about this bullshit. It's no more, man. I'm suing every motherfucking body that threatened my life, that put my life in harm from cruel and unusual punishment. I'm taking down every one of those motherfuckers, man, in court. In court. Violating my constitutional rights. In the Constitution, you got the right to sue the government. You got the right to sue anybody that caused you harm. You got the right to feed waivers. You got the right to have the marshals serve these motherfuckers. You got the right to have the sheriff serve them the copy of the lawsuit. So you violated that law right there. No ifs and no buts. It's on record. You violate that. Your asses need to be removed and put in fucking prison. Because y'all all criminals. Every one of you racist motherfuckers are criminals. And I hate racist people, man. I met one deputy, man. And he tried his best. You know, when he got me from one deputy county to the other, because I was through 2 counties when I turned myself in on 2/6/2023. I was in 2 different counties, right? So one deputy had to drive me over this way to this other area for this other deputy. It was snowing too, for the other deputy to take me, right? And the first thing that deputy said, was you in front of a judge? I said, no. And he's looking at his watch. He said, you got to get in front of a judge immediately, because I'm not going to violate your constitutional rights, And then nothing. Minnesota rule. Minnesota Superior Court rule. The officers have to have the warrant in their possession. Listen carefully. The officers have to have the warrant in their possession. You have to be immediately taken in front of a magistrate. Immediately. Not the next day, not 72 hours, not 48 hours, not 24 hours. Immediately, what the constitutional right says. Immediately. 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 Immediately, you have to be taken in front of a magistrate immediately. Not when they decide to. No, it doesn't go like that, But did the judge care that they violated my constitutional rights? Hell no. Hell no. That's why he ain't going to be a judge too much longer, man. Hell no. Because the judge violated my constitutional rights too. Hell no. So they come up with some bullshit, probable cause. There was no probable cause. I got the right to say what the fuck I want to say, and I'm going to continue saying what the fuck I want to say. Nobody going to stop me. I don't give a fuck who you are. I really don't give a fuck who you are. Nobody going to stop me from saying what the fuck I want to say. I got my constitutional rights that protects me. My forefathers, my father's father, his father's father. We all fought for the constitutional rights. We all fought for freedom. That's what the fuck we did. We fought for freedom. We fought to put crooked, corrupted judges and police officers and all them motherfuckers behind bars. That's what the fuck we fought for. That's what we fought for, And it's funny how these motherfuckers just don't get it through their heads, man. And then they want to turn around and they try every trick in the book. But in every state right now, in the appellate court ruled that officers and prosecutors do not have immunity. Judges do not have immunity. Like, I give you an example, okay? Give you an example here. All right? You're not supposed to be fingerprinted and pictured under no circumstances because you are not convicted of a crime. Okay? Listen carefully. You can even look it up. The damage that they did to me here because of this bullshit is coming back to haunt them. And it's gonna hurt them real hard in their pockets. They're not allowed to run your information at one time. In other words, this sheriff ain't allowed to run your information while this sheriff runs your information. This police officer ain't allowed to run your information when this police officer is running your information. That's abuse of power and violation of their laws. Okay? You're not allowed to be fingerprinted and pictured whatsoever. All right? And that is in Todd versus Buck County. Okay? Buck County prison inmates received $68 million in punitive damages. And that's also in my lawsuit. They put my picture all over the fucking internet and everything else. Been having problems ever since. Okay? They're not allowed to do background checks on you. Matter of fact, nobody's allowed to do a background check if you read your constitutional rights. It's under privacy. Nobody is allowed to do a background check on no person, no living person, period. And the United States Superior Court ruled on so many cases on that. Nobody's allowed to do background check on you. Nobody. Nobody's allowed to have your social security number, not on applications, not on nothing. Nobody's allowed to have your social security number. Not on job applications, not on loan applications, not on buying a car. None of that shit. Nobody's allowed to have your social security number. No car dealer can tell you you have to put money down. No car dealer can tell you that. No, you will not allow to put no money down on any fucking car. Okay? On any car. All right? So, right here, the Superior Court in Pennsylvania ruled that the Buck County's Sheriff's Department violated the inmates' privacy and constitutional rights. Violated their privacy and the constitutional rights. So the Buck County decided to take it to jury, member, to trial, right? The trial found that the Sheriff's Department of Buck County in Pennsylvania violated the Inmates' Rights and Privacy Act by posting, listen carefully, by posting their photos online when no one has been convicted of a crime. No court, no sheriff, no police department can take your fingerprints and picture unless you are convicted of a crime. Then, if they do have a picture on file, the only time that picture is supposed to be posted or shown is if you are a fugitive. Other than that, the jury found Buck County Sheriff's Department guilty of violating the Inmates' Rights and Privacy Act. On October 7th, 2019, then it went in the appeal for February 1st, 2023. The appeal from the Buck County Sheriff's Department was denied, struck down, because the judges found out that they did violate the inmates' constitutional rights and privacy rights. No judge, no court has the right, this is the best part here, has the right to do any video court procedures whatsoever. The way the time and age is now, that can also end up online all over the website, which is in violation of that individual's Privacy Act. Listen carefully. No court can do any video court appearance or case. It's in violation of that individual's Privacy Act. No county deputy, sheriff, or police department can take a defendant's fingerprints and pictures without them being convicted of a crime. They cannot post it online. They cannot post it on Facebook. They cannot post it on Twitter. They cannot post it nowhere online. They violated the Privacy Act. March 2023. March 7th, 2023. The appellate court ruled it violated the inmates' constitutional rights and Privacy Act. The courts also ruled that any court that uses video technology for any court hearing is in the violation of the Privacy Act. State laws has willfully and has wrongfully and willingly violated the laws under the Constitution, and the inmates are entitled to the damages of $279,000 each. The appeal of the Sheriff's Department is denied. Denied. Is denied. They have to remove all information of the inmate offline immediately. They had no right to post any inmate's pictures online. They had no authority or right by law to fingerprint and picture any suspect. The only time the suspect can be fingerprinted and pictured is when they are found guilty of a crime. New York, 2023, January 16, 2023, the Superior Court of New York ruled that all pictures of inmates has to be removed immediately out of the data system of online. Immediately. Violation of the Privacy Act and violation of the man's constitutional rights under the 5th, the 6th, the 14th, and 15th Act. A person's fingerprints and pictures can only be taken when they are convicted of a crime. And the only time that picture can be released to the public is if that individual is a fugitive and wanted, is the only time. It cannot be released to the media. It cannot be released online. It cannot be released on Facebook, Twitter, all of these other ones they got, Google and some other ones they got. It cannot be released. You're in violation of its Privacy Act. New York went to trial. New York just lost in trial. The Sheriff's Department and the Police Department in New York City just lost in trial a $98.8 million lawsuit, class action lawsuit. Each defendant that they posted online gets a summary of 3,000. Each defendant in New York City gets a total of $352,000. They filed an appeal, and the appeal was denied. They went by every other case all over the United States. When I told that attorney that, he says, no, that's not true. That's not true. It's like I told the attorney. Like I told that attorney, I said, man, in Minnesota, they ruled. In Minnesota, a case. You know, first of all officers do not have jurisdiction to arrest you. That's number one. People don't understand that. People think that a cop can just come and arrest you. No. Cop just can't come and arrest you. Cop cannot just come and arrest you. Okay? Straight in violation of your constitutional rights. Straight in violation. Now, there's a case in Minnesota that was just ruled 2022 in Superior Court of Minnesota. Just ruled 2022. And a lot of people now is using this case, which they have every right, you know, and they ruled that for a person to be arrested, number one, the officers have to have to. No ifs and no buts, nothing like that. They have to present the warrant to the defendant or the suspect, as you want to say. They have to read the warrant. You have to immediately be taken in front of a magistrate. Immediately, not the next day, none of that shit. Okay, this case is out of Minnesota. All right? And it says here, if the officer does not present or have in their possession the warrant, the arrest is unjustifiable, and the officers making the arrest has false imprisonment that individual and can be sued. Minnesota case, 2022. The Minnesota Superior Court ruled in this right here that states that I don't care if they're guilty of the crime or not. This is one of the judges. The officer or sheriff has to have the warrant in their possession to make the arrest. If they do not have the warrant in their possession and take the suspect and defendant straight to a magistrate, they are in violation of that individual's constitutional rights, false imprisonment, malicious prosecution, false arrest, and they can be held liable. They are being held liable. They have to be held liable. They have made a false arrest, false imprisonment, false and malicious prosecution, and kidnapped. This comes from the appeals court in Minnesota. Oakland, Superior Court of Oakland. The guilty of the plaintiff is not and cannot come from what a report or an affidavit is said. Okay? An arrest is unlawful, even though the arrestee may be guilty of a felony, but if the officer does not have the warrant in their possession, right there in their hand, the officer is guilty of false imprisonment, kidnapped, and is liable. And then it says here, if the officer does not show grounds to the person they arrest, the officer has no jurisdiction whatsoever to make any arrests whatsoever. Do you have jurisdiction? Show me the warrant. Read me the warrant. Take me immediately in front of a magistrate. Ohio. Laws. 2022. I just passed this. Minnesota. 2022. United States Minnesota Superior Court. New Jersey. A false imprisonment case in New Jersey occurred when a woman was committed to an asylum by a business partner. Okay? Because the business partner wanted to take the other half of the business, he made up false charges against the individual. All right? Her attorney filed a lawsuit. The prosecutor's immunity is denied. The police officer immunity is denied. The judge that signed the warrant or magistrate immunity is denied. This is out of New Jersey, 2022. June 2022, out of New Jersey. All right? And they said here, first of all, the appeals court stated and argued that no officer, no sheriff, no deputy has the right to arrest anyone. They do not have the jurisdiction to arrest anyone. If you arrest a suspect without a warrant, you are liable for damages, false imprisonment, false arrest, false charges, violation of that individual's constitutional rights. Any judge or magistrate signs a warrant without 1,000% proof, and it cannot be hearsay, it cannot be off an affidavit, it has to have 1,000% proof of what they are saying and true. Once that warrant is signed, either by a judge or a magistrate, that leaves that judge or magistrate opened up for a lawsuit by the defendants, false imprisonment, false arrest, false allegations, and kidnap charges in violation of their constitutional rights. That's what it says. That's what it says. That's what it says. Under the Constitution, nobody can be held for any crimes. That's out of New Jersey, appeals court. And you got another one here, 2022. Once an officer makes the arrest of any individual, they are not and cannot claim immunity when there's no such thing of immunity for any person in the United States. That is a false representation. Once they arrest a suspect or defendant without the warrant presented in their hand, and read the warrant and taken immediately in front of a magistrate, they opened up the grounds for a lawsuit. All claims of immunity is removed and void. Immunity is not there or ever existed for any government official. Comes out of New Jersey. This is what the appeals court in New Jersey said. No such thing as immunity. That's a myth. But since they want to say the word immunity, they lose it automatically for false arrest, false imprisonment, no warrant in their hand. You did not read the warrant. You did not take the individual immediately to front of a magistrate, regardless. Magistrates are open 24/7. You didn't take that motherfucker in front of a magistrate. And if that magistrate holds you, that magistrate is online for the lawsuit too. Whoever signed the warrant is online. See, my warrant was signed behind hate and retaliation. That's why my warrant was signed. Because I cursed out the judge and I told him, I'm going to sue you. I got the right to sue you. I got the right to come after everything you own. I got the constitutional right. You violated my constitutional rights. You allow perjury. You allow false evidence. And you see, this is the bad thing about the whole situation in my divorce. If she would have granted, I had to file a complaint to have her removed just to get granted a subpoena for records. I shouldn't have had to do that because it states that if you represent yourself, the judge gives you the same leniency as they do the attorneys. But the judge never did that to me. No. Judge didn't want to hear a fucking thing I had to say. The judge let an attorney cannot testify. A judge cannot testify. A judge is nothing there but to be a referee, but the judge has to follow the letter of the law. No ifs and no buts. The judge got to follow the letter of the law and the evidence that's there. There was no evidence whatsoever because she wouldn't let me get my evidence. So she violated that right there in her oath of office. She allowed perjury and everything else. She allowed an attorney to testify. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Be quiet, Mr. Melillo. Be quiet. I'll cut your mic off. So now I know when they say that, that's a threat. Because you're not giving me the opportunity to defend myself. So now I know under federal rules and laws, you just threatened me. Your ass needs to be behind bars. See, when I asked for those subpoenas, I knew which banks I was sending them to and everything else. I knew all of the accounts that this woman had, man, hiding money and every fucking thing, man. You know, like when Babies R Us and Toys R Us closed down, I told her, I said, but they open overseas. They just don't want America's working no more for Babies R Us and Toys R Us because they don't want to pay the fucking insurance. They don't want to pay none of that no more. They don't want to pay your vacation pay. They don't got to pay that overseas in other countries. They don't got to give employees vacation pay and medical pay and all of that shit. And these lousy judges that let these fuckers file bankruptcy, they get their kickbacks between 2 mil, 3 mil, 100 mil, 900 mil. They get kickbacks from these fuckers, man. They all get kickbacks to let them file bankruptcy. Because if you wasn't intelligent and you went by the Constitution, right, what you were sworn to do, you'll say, wait a minute, back the brakes up here, back the brakes up here. Filing your bankruptcy is denied. Stop talking about the American people because you don't give two fucks about no American people. You don't give a fuck about the veterans. You don't give a fuck about none of us. Stop saying American people. Just say your white racist asses. Stop saying American people because y'all motherfucking Democrats and Republicans don't give two fucks about American people. You only care about yourselves and your pockets. Stop saying the American people. For the American, no, you ain't fucking shit for us. You are crooks. You are terrorists. Y'all all belong locked up in federal prison in front of a firing squad like every other country do to their government for being corrupt. Our government is the worst corrupted government in the world. But we need the same laws that China and every other country has. India and all of that. Execute your asses, put your asses in prison, and execute every corrupt politician, every corrupt judge, every corrupt prosecutor, every corrupt attorney. Put them up on the face of the wall in public and execute them. That's where the fuck y'all need to be because y'all some corrupted motherfuckers. China just executed fucking corrupt government employees, government officials. Went in there when they having a government meeting. The army went in there and snatched their asses up and executed them. Less than 24 hours. They were found guilty for treason. They was found guilty for violating their constitution. They was found guilty for treason against the people. And they got executed. We need the same fucking laws here in the United States. Fuck y'all motherfuckers, man. You know? And then you start getting real people that are for the people. See, the way y'all attacking TikTok and all of this shit, y'all got your kickbacks from Facebook. Facebook needs to be put out of fucking business. And that Met needs to be put out of the business. They're the ones that sell out information. And TikTok's not in China. TikTok has nothing to do with China. But every Republican, every Democrat that got on there and said that shit, you lost every fucking body's votes now. And the biggest thing is, this fucking president lost everybody's vote. Everybody's vote. Even some Republican votes, they lost. The Democrats lost it big time this time. They ain't getting it. They may get the house niggas and house bitches votes, but they ain't getting the real people's votes. That's for damn sure. Because they lost. They literally lost their presidential election shit. They lost. They lost big time. So you get the racist motherfuckers that'll vote for you, but the original people that believe in the Constitution, you lost all of their votes. You lost our votes. Nobody gonna vote for no Republican or Democrat. Nobody is. If a person go up there and talk about they believing in the constitutional right, they swear to God that they believing in the constitutional right and the freedom of the people, they got our vote. But other you motherfuckers, y'all ain't got our votes. Y'all don't got nobody's votes no more. Y'all out of office, man. Y'all all committed treason against the Constitution, against the people, against the veterans. Y'all some crooked bastards, man. Everyone, man, I wish our laws was like China. Every corrupt individual should be executed. Should be put in federal prison and executed. Like they do in Taiwan, the Philippines, China, Japan, Turkey, Germany. Every one of you supposed to, that committed treason against the Constitution, supposed to be taken into custody by the military and executed. Because that's what y'all did. Y'all committed treason against the people, against the Constitution, against the common law, against God's laws. Y'all committed treason. Y'all committed treason, man. Y'all committed treason. Y'all all need to be where that fool. See, there's a funny thing. when they riot that there on January 6th, that was all planned way ahead of time. Everybody knew that it was planned and everything else. Everybody knew about it. Everybody was aware of it. Everybody was aware of it. What happened was, where it was shocking, is where they didn't expect nobody to know. Excuse me. What was shocking to everybody, because the public wasn't supposed to know it, is that a lot of news media was filming that shit and putting it on the news immediately from all channels. And then you got Fox. They should be out of business. Okay, Fox News should be out of business. Any news anchor person that can't tell the truth should be out of business. There's no ifs and no buts. All right, should be out of business. And that's what set it off, because there was news cameras there and everything, man. And that's why, if those news cameras wasn't there, nobody would have known shit. Nobody would have went to jail and anything else. But the funny thing about it, though, is there was this. I gotta laugh. The funny thing about the whole situation was there was this house nigga that was for Trump. He got in more time than anybody. That was so good. That was so beautiful. And we all saying, good, house nigga, how you like it now? Your Trump coming to protect you. Your Trump coming to save you. But now you got what? 15 to 20 years for your shit that you did at the Capitol. Your stupid ass went out there for that stupid white motherfucker, and you got more time than any of them did. A lot of them got smacked on the hand. But you stupid ass nigga, house nigga boy, got more time than any of them did. You deserve where you supposed to be. You're a disgrace to every African person in the world. You are a disgrace. You are, anytime any house nigga, house bitch go against blacks, is a disgrace to society. Period. That goes for the Mexican people too. Period. Now you see Mexicans going against Mexicans and, oh, we stopping you. Hey, I say, what you stopping me for? Because I think you a thief. That's why I say. And then they fucking with the wrong ones, and they go into their jobs, wait for them motherfuckers to get off work, and they beating their ass. And that's what you get. That's what you get. To be so racist against your own kind, you got every fucking thing coming to you. You got every fucking thing coming. Then you got the racist Koreans that are racist against their own kind. Okay? And they do a lot of shit behind hate. Then you got the Japanese that do the same thing. Ain't that something else? Ain't that something else, man? And people stupid, man. I'll say it again. Only 5% in the United States got sense. The rest of the percentage of that, they some stupid mother. I feel sorry for the school industry. I feel sorry for their parents, if they got parents, because these are some stupid motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck if you got a PhD, HD, PMS, OUP, PPS. I don't give a fuck what you got. If you do not read your constitutional rights, your original constitutional rights, you are stupid. We got the right to picket. Peacefully picketing. Who starts the charges all the time when you picketing? The police, the sheriff's department. Who starts all of the fights all the time? Police and sheriff's departments. Constitutional right. We got the right to picket. And then you got some of these stupid judges that took the oath of office to defend the constitutional rights. And they violated. Instead of them judges, cases dismissed, record removed, clean. They got a constitutional right to picket. The officers started all of this shit, shooting tear gas when these people are picketing peaceful. The pigs, the sheriffs, the deputies, they start all of this shit. And the city council people and the city mayors, they got to be put out of office. They got to be put in jail where they belong. That's where they got to be. Then you got idiots, Republicans, send 14 point something trillion dollars or billion dollars to Israel. But you motherfuckers just sit back So when your unemployment is gone and your benefits from the job that you had is gone, then what you gonna do? Wake the fuck up, people. We got to put these son of bitches out of office, man. They are committing fraud. They are committing laundering money. They are the criminals. They are corrupt. We have to do the same thing other countries do to the corrupt politicians. They have to be taken by the military and executed, like other countries do to their corrupt politicians. From India, China, Japan, Taiwan, Cairo. This corruption and taking from us has to stop. We have to put these son of bitches in military prison. The military has to come and take them into custody and execute every corrupt politician. If I was governor, I passed that law. See, this is the law I passed. You ain't got no right to pull over a suspect and question and tell them to get out of the car, number one. Number two, they got a right to have tinted windows because you got tinted windows. Number three, any officer that assaults a suspect automatically goes to jail and be held without bail. No ifs and no. I wouldn't give a fuck how long you've been in the police department or sheriff's department. I don't give a fuck about your mama, your daddy, your kids, none of them. Because you didn't think about them. See, any officer that kills a suspect will be held without bail on murder charges. They will get whatever the highest sentence in crime is for murder, they will get. No taxpayers will be paying for no police officers' attorney's fees. No taxpayers will be paying for that whatsoever. Because the taxpayers are not responsible for you. You work for them. They don't work for you. You will not use your personal cars and have the taxpayers pick up the bill to get your cars repaired. You see, this is where all of the fraud is at from the police unions and stuff. Police unions will be shut the fuck down, man. Police unions will be shut the fuck down. And anyone that gets caught violating the constitutional right, that they took the oath to swear and abide by the constitutional right, you will be without a job. You will go to prison under state and federal charges. Any judge violate their oath of office will be removed immediately. Any prosecutor violate the oath of office will be removed immediately. Now, what's so ironic is that you don't need to be a whistleblower because you believe in your job and you're not doing nothing illegal against a suspect. That means that you're a good person. That means you believe in justice, but you believe in the right justice, not just by falsifying police reports and planting evidence and stuff. Every officer, every law enforcement officer, every government employee, every state employee will be drugged and alcohol tested. And if you come back that you got drugs in your system, you are fired immediately. Because that means that you've been high all the time you had that uniform and that gun on. You kill somebody, you kill a family member, your ass is being held without bail. You ain't getting no motherfucking bail because you are dangerous to society. You are fucking dangerous to society. So come on, let's see what governor's gonna do what I say if I was governor. Come on, let's see. There'll be no more Jews owning the news stations and all of that. No. They will be put out of my state. Hell no. No Jew will own any goddamn communication system in my state. Under no circumstances. You have no right to own no communications in our state. You have no fucking right to own any communications in our state. You lost all of that immediately. Immediately. You lost all of that. You don't have no right to tell a news anchor, don't report this, don't report that, don't put this on, don't put that on. You got no fucking right to censor nobody. But the problem though with stupid people in stupid ass America that you claim Yo country, when you white motherfuckers ain't even from America. Your ancestors ain't even from this fucking country. What's so funny is y'all stupid. That's the wildest thing. Man, I seen this guy, man, on the news. And if it wasn't for his cameras in his house, that man would have went to jail. And that's what saved him. This bitch didn't realize that he put up cameras all in the house. And he was going through a divorce. And this bitch broke into the house, not once, but twice, with her friend that's a deputy and planted drugs in his house. So she can get the house and the kids, and she didn't want to go through all of this bullshit with divorce. She just wanted him away. She just wanted him in jail, right? And this man put cameras all up in the house and outside. See them coming out. He's at work, and his kids is at his mother's, right? Got 2 little kids, man, right? And she's been out of the house maybe 2-3 weeks for assaulting the man, all right? And so all of a sudden, she dating this deputy. So the guy's attorney pushed the issue to have the deputy locked up. Because now we know where all the drugs come from when they plant the drugs in your cars. It comes from the deputies or the police officers. When they bring the sniff dogs, they sniffing that officer that got the drugs on them. That's what they're sniffing. But now it's against the law to use them. It's against the law in a lot of states now talking about the odor of marijuana. It's against the law in California. That's street. They can't even use police dogs no more in your cars in California. Can't even do it. So anyway, they show the deputy planting something in the kitchen, right? And then they show the deputy on his monitor planting something under his couch. And then going into closets and shit. And then his bedroom planting shit. And then planting shit in his kid's room, right? Now, meanwhile, the guy's mom has access to all of this stuff. And she's watching. She got an alert that somebody was in the house, right? And she calls him on the phone. Now, he's at work. He works night shift, right? For some big-ass corporation in the United States. Some big-ass, I think it's, what the hell? They like test engines and shit like that for the airlines and stuff, you know? So he works for Bowie or some shit like that, where they do the engines and stuff, right? And he works night shift, right? And so anyway, make a long story short, so his mom is watching this and stuff. And she looks and she says, holy shit, that's Deputy such and such with her. And he goes, what? Don't call the police. Call the FBI immediately. So his mom hangs up the phone, right? She gets a recording, has to leave a message with the FBI, all right? So one of the agents, FBI agents, immediately heard the recording and called her back less than 20 minutes, okay? And you can hear they showing all of this shit on the news, man. I couldn't believe it. And you can hear them talking. The guy's mom is talking with the FBI lady, okay? And so she's asking what's the address and everything else, and she's going to get in touch with some people, but not law enforcement, with some of her colleagues, that's FBI agents, right? And that's what she did. So the mom gives the address where the dad is at and everything else. Now, this is the best thing this is the whole fucking best thing of it all, man, right? So the next day, they waited to the next day. Now, the FBI already went in there with gloves and your fingerprints is on this shit. This deputy's fingerprints is on these drugs, okay? So they went in all the places where he hit him at and shit, and she's showing it online, showing it on her phone to the FBI agents, and the lady FBI is radioing, this is where you go, turn right there, blase, blase, that's where the drugs are, blase, 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 blase. So they get all of the drugs. The next day, he goes, picks up his kids at his mom's, right? And she's in the car with him. Now, mind you, these motherfuckers don't even know this is an FBI agent. You can't trust no police. And the FBI should have more power than those motherfuckers. So anyway, they get to his house. She's holding his son. Little guy, man. I don't know how old you would call him, but it was like a little baby thing where you're just holding your arms and stuff. Real, about maybe that big. Little thing, about that big, you know? And so she's holding the baby. And mind you, his house is surrounded with undercover FBI agents, okay? So these fuckers come. You see the sheriff's lights all down the street and shit. And just when he gets in the door, close the door. Here come the sheriffs to raid his house, and his ex-wife is with them and stuff, and the deputy that planted the drugs is with him and stuff. And these motherfuckers don't even know that they're being watched by Homeland Security and FBI, because they got it back up, and your asses are going down. And so, make a long story short, they locked her up, and they locked the deputy up, and they locked the deputy's father up because he's a chief or a captain or some shit for the sheriff's department out there. So they lock them all the fuck up. So they went with a search warrant, FBI search warrant. They searched the sheriff's house, illegal guns, drugs, shit that they ain't supposed to have, only the military. What the fuck you doing with a silencer, number one? If we can't have a silencer, what the fuck is the sheriff's department doing with silencers? What are the police departments doing with silencers? Okay? The only time a silencer is used is when we go overseas and we got assassinated, when somebody got to be assassinated. Okay? That's when silencers are used. And you get them from friends or et cetera, that's how silencers are used. The Navy SEALs, they have silencers. The Army has silencers. So what the fuck is the police department or sheriff's department doing with a silence? You ain't supposed to have silencers. Then they find nutcrackers in there, and they find those in there and shit. What are you doing with them? If we can't have them, what right do you got the right to have them? And then one of the officers finds something very weird in this closet. And now they scared. Now they're getting in touch with the military. How the fuck did this deputy get his hands on a bazooka? How the fuck did this motherfucker get his hands on a bazooka? Now your ass supposed to be in federal prison for the rest of your life. For everything that is against the law for us to have, you're not allowed to have it. The only ones that has silencers is military. You never was in the military. So how did you get your hands on a silencer? So that means they got to test that silencer to see if it was used. Do the diagnostics from the bullet to see if any record, anywhere on any files of the United States, that bullet fragment and that bullet traces to any other bullet in the United States system. And if it does, he got some hell of an explanation to be doing. Nobody's allowed to have a silencer but military. That's it. That's it. So they turn around, they get all of this shit on these motherfuckers, man. The guy's ex-wife and his dad, he's I think the sheriff or deputy or some shit like that, and they get his ass in jail. That's been on the news. I'm like, son of a bitch. But what? Will they do time is the question. So you could get their asses locked up, but whether they do time is the $1 million question. They have no rights once they violate the constitutional rights and the oath of office. They're supposed to get 20 to 50 years in prison. They're supposed to get either the life or death for murder. If you can give life or death to this man here because he killed 2 pigs, 2 cops, or 2 deputies, or 2 sheriffs, you give the same motherfucking thing to them. They are not above the law. The Constitution says all men are created equal. All men are created equal. Common law, all men are created equal. Constitution, all men are created equal. You can't give this man 12 months or time served for killing a motherfucker, and you give this man life. Can't do that. Challenge your Constitution, because nobody's going to go against the Constitution. Not no Superior Court judge, because they'll be fucking removed because they violated their oath of office. And you got a lot of judges now in federal courts is really terrified about violating their oath of office. Hey, wait a minute. I'm not violating this man's oath. I don't give a fuck if your daddy's, if I'm married to your daughter, if I'm married to your cousin, your sister, your brother. I don't give a fuck. My job is more important. I took an oath of office to protect the Constitution, just like the sheriffs did. The sheriff is the last known of defense in the Constitution to protect the Constitution and the people of the Constitution. The sheriff is the last line of defense. And the sheriff, by duty, anyone that violates the Constitution, it is his duty to arrest those individuals. I don't give a damn if they police officers. I don't give a fuck if they judges. I don't give a fuck if they pigs. I don't give a fuck. His duty, because he took the oath to protect the Constitution against all foreign and domestic terrorists. And we are the more terrorists in the United States, our own government, and from our government to Congress, Republicans to Democrats, and non-Democrats and non-Republicans, they are the terrorists. They are all the terrorists. See, the word terrorist did not come out until the late 80s. You see, that's when the word terrorist was used, in the late 80s. And that's because other countries did not want the United States in that country. So you are terrorists. And stupid people, we are the terrorists. The United States people are the terrorists. Our government is the terrorists. Our government kills more people in the United States, just like they do in other countries to try to take their resources. The government, our own lousy, that's what cracks me up. The Secretary of State, fuck that bitch, fuck that dude. Don't ever talk about human rights when you don't got no fucking human rights for us. You a fucking hypocrite. Your ass needs to be put up in front of a firing squad, like it says, because you committed treason against the United States people and Indians, Spanish, every race in the United States you committed treason against. You're supposed to be up in front of a firing squad and shot or taken to a tree and hung in public. So fuck what the Secretary of State got to say. Fuck what all of those motherfucking racist bastards got to say. You know? And it says right here, Congress shall pass no laws, nor a state can pass any laws against and infringe against the constitutional right. The constitutional rights is the law of the land. Superior clause, law of the land is the constitutional rights. Whoever violates their oath of office has committed treason against the people and the Constitution. They have committed treason against the people and the Constitution. They have to be taken in front of the nearest busiest street and be hung until they are dead. They have to be taken immediately in front of a busy street and to be hung until they are dead. Man, we need a lot of rope now because we got a whole lot of Democrats, Republicans, Congress, governors that has committed treason against the Constitution. They have committed treason against the Constitution and the people. They have committed treason. And they're supposed to be what it says in the Constitution. They're supposed to be hung no matter what. They're supposed to be taken in front of a busy street and hung. Because that's what the Constitution says. That's what the original Constitution says. Fuck state Constitution don't mean a fucking thing. Our original Constitution, as they say, the federal Constitution overrides all state Constitution. State Constitution is void. Is void. Is no laws. You know? And people got to start reading their Constitution. You got to start reading the Constitution, what the forefathers wrote down. Okay? The duty. It says here, it is the duty of the sheriff. The duty of the sheriff to protect the Constitution. The sheriffs are the last line of defense to protect the Constitution. They took an oath to protect the Constitution of the United States. Okay? And it even goes deeper. Anyone that violates the Constitution, common law of the land, it is the duty of that sheriff to take those individuals into custody, take them in front of a busy highway or street, and hang them. That's what it says in the Constitution. It is the duty of the sheriff to protect and uphold the Constitution. It is their duty. to uphold and protect the Constitution against foreign and domestic terrorists. Once the sheriff knows that this individual has violated the Constitution and the common law of the land, which is the superior clause of the land, he has no duty but one, to take that individual into custody, take that individual in front of a busy street or highway, whatever, in public, and hang him. That's what it says in the original Constitution. The sheriffs are the last defense of the Constitution. They have to protect it with their lives. That's why you had one, I forgot what state this was, but the sheriff said, I'm not going after nobody's guns. I don't give a fuck what the Superior Court or any judge says or any fucking governor says. I'm not going after nobody's gun because the Second Amendment gives us the right to bear arms. The Second Amendment gives us the right to bear arms and protect our family. All over the Constitution. It says if you are being invaded, you got the right to bear arms and protect your family. You got the right to shoot anything that comes through your door. Fuck what they laws say. It's in the Constitution. It's in the Constitution. No state or governor or Congress can pass any laws. All rules, codes, and regulations are for government officials only. All rules, codes, and regulations are for government employees only, not for the abided citizen. No state or Congress can pass any laws. They are unconstitutional. And what's funny is now you see a lot of judges like, wait a minute, I love my job. I love being a judge. Even though I fucked over a lot of people, at least I still get my $180,000 a year, a month, or $140 a month, whatever. That's still money in my pocket. So I'm not going to go this way, because if I go this way, say fuck the Constitution, then I'm under investigation. Then they're going to find out that I sleep with prostitutes. I date kids, and no, I don't want them to find out about me. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with this right here, man. You violate this individual's constitutional rights. I'm granting for them to proceed because I don't need no feds and Homeland Security to investigate me. You know, now a lot of judges are waking up and saying that to themselves. Yeah. A lot of judges now are waking up and saying that because they can lose more than just their job. They can lose their life because a lot of shit's going to come out on the investigation on judges. I don't give a fuck you, a female judge, a male judge. A lot of shit going to come up. You know, a lot of shit's coming up now on judges, man. Alcohol in a government building, which is against all fucking laws in every state. And we can't bring alcohol in there because you're a judge. That don't give you the right to bring alcohol in there. That don't give you a right to smoke in the building. If we can't smoke in the building, which all of that was bullshit, because there was a guy in 1983 that filed a lawsuit. His family was a congressman out of California. And this guy got busted for rape. He raped like 17 girls. And so he says, well, if I file this lawsuit, this 1983 lawsuit, then I can get out of prison, you know, because I can't breathe, but yet I smoke weed and I smoke cigarettes. So I'm going to say I can't breathe so I can go against the state for having me in the county jail from everybody smoking. All that shit was bullshit. Just like plastic. It's all bullshit. You know, don't run your car because you polluting the air. All of that is bullshit. That's all that is bullshit. We got too many trees on the face of this earth that gives us oxygen. All of that is bullshit. And you stupid son of a bitches go for that bullshit. All of that is bullshit. That's all it is bullshit. So this fucker files a lawsuit, and the federal government, which they have no right to pass no laws about nobody smoking. I'm going to continue smoking my cigarettes. I don't give a fuck what they say. And there's no scientific proof that somebody died of cancer Show me the person that died of cancer. You get cancer from everything. You got cancer from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, from the pesticides they was putting on our food, spraying, and everything else. You got cancer from every fucking thing. You get cancer from your alcohol. You get cancer from pouring gasoline in your car. You don't get cancer from cigarettes. All of that bullshit is a myth. Wake the fuck up, people. I've been smoking for God knows how long, and I got healthy lungs. I got fucking healthy lungs. I got fucking, you got some healthy lungs, man. And how long you been smoking? And you don't got fucking cancer? Holy shit. All of that is bullshit, man. All of that is fucking bullshit. And then you get these racist ass white women, moms against whatever the fuck, moms against racists. Them motherfucking racist motherfucking bitches need to be behind bars. They shouldn't be allowed to have kids. You know? Thank God there is abortion. Oh, I forgot. Y'all stupid women. You have no rights in the United States no more. You know? And you got to thank your Republicans and Democrats for that. You see, that's what gets me. How the hell this bitch that's a senator can open up her mouth and say, we miss Trump, and she black? You stupid bitch, you got no say-so. And we already know that there's so much racial profiling from the courts to Congress and everything else. Because if it wasn't, and if they wanted to stop racial profiling, they would let those black senators and governors that won elections in their office. But they don't want your stupid ass there. Regardless if you want to be white so bad, they don't want your stupid ass there. You know, and like I tell a buddy of mine, I said, man, you know what, you was right, man, because I ran into this officer out here, Cali, man. Check out what happened to her, man. She got set up because she bitched about her partner kept touching girls when he was locking them up. This motherfucker was sexually assaulting these women while he's locking them up. Your ass supposed to be in jail, dude, for the rest of your fucking life. You know, so she got fired. She files a lawsuit, but yet I don't give a fuck because she's a pig. So she had done anybody that's a pig, deputy sheriff, whatever. You have no right to have a lawsuit going because you fucked up and you committed perjury. You committed false documents on everybody. So I don't give a fuck about you. But he was telling me that, and one of the guys, matter of fact, two of the guys said, well, because you're a woman, we don't want you here no more. We got that fucking constitutional right. Y'all don't got no rights no more. Republicans said women don't got no rights no more. And half of the Democrats said women don't got no rights no more. Ain't that about a bitch? So now you ain't allowed to have abortion. Okay, you're not allowed to have abortion. You're not allowed to go to another country. Who the fuck you think you is, man? You can't pass no laws like that. Congress cannot pass no law. Read your fucking Constitution. Every law they pass is unconstitutional. And you don't got not one good-ass attorney out there because attorneys are afraid to fight these motherfuckers, man, because they're not getting paid. In the Constitution, no state or Congress can pass any laws. No state or Congress can pass any laws. All rules, regulations, penal codes are for government officials. In other words, for Republicans, for Democrats, for non-Democrats, for police, pigs, deputies, sheriffs. All rules and regulations are for them. The Constitution is there not only to protect us, but to make sure these motherfuckers follow the Constitution. And once they deny what they took the oath of, then they can be, and they have to be immediately removed. Immediately removed. You have to call the deputies to remove them once they violate the Constitution and they don't have an oath of office on file. They have to be immediately escorted off the property. They have to be immediately arrested for pretending to be a clerk of the court or a judge or a prosecutor. Each prosecution, each judge, each clerk, any clerk of the courts, of all courts, anyone that works in a courthouse has to be bonded. They have to be bonded. There's no ifs and no buts. If they are not bonded, and if they do not submit, they bond to you when you request that, they have to immediately be removed, because that means they have no bond. Anything that they sign is void. Same thing for a judge. Anything a judge signs is void. That's just like people say, oh no, the judges can rubber stamp. No, you cannot rubber stamp shit. All courts already ruled that you cannot rubber stamp a warrant for nobody's arrest. A judge's signature has to be on there. Fuck what their rules and regulations are. That don't mean shit. All judges got to go what the rulings are of the superior court. Because then if they don't, not only do they jeopardize the superior court's ruling, they don't give a fuck about what the superior court got to say. So now the superior court don't give a fuck about what you got to say. Now you will be investigated. Now you will be removed as a judge because you abused your powers. You violated your oath of office. Every judge that got locked up all over the United States, from California, New York, Alabama, San Francisco, Chicago, Minnesota, they got busted for conspiracy, hate crimes, perjury, violation of their oath of office, violation of their duties, drinking, having parties. So right there, nobody is above the laws. Under 12-230, conduct of a judge, a sitting judge. A judge is there to referee. A judge is there not to be prejudiced, not to be biased, not to be discriminated. That judge took an oath of office. That judge took an oath of office. That judge cannot threaten. That judge cannot cut your mic off. That judge cannot. Judges are not even supposed to raise their fucking voice. I don't give a fuck what crime. I don't give a fuck you killed 1,000 women, 1,000 guys. I don't give a fuck. A judge got to show respect. But some of these judges think because they're on the bench, they can do what they want to do. No. There's consequences. And they're very, very hard consequences, man. I had right now, I'll give y'all an example, which they haven't been given a copy of my appeal. But I won my appeal. I won my appeal in Minnesota. Yes, I did. States, quote, unquote, they've lost immunity. They violated the constitutional rights. They violated their oath of office. Lawsuit can proceed. Each defendant has to be served. You have a right to mail out lawsuit to each defendant. All rules and regulations, as you stated, Mr. Melillo, are true. Superior Court ruled that all rules and regulations and guidelines are for government official employees, not the private citizen. You can proceed with your lawsuits. You can proceed with your lawsuit. You can proceed to mail out copies of lawsuit to all defendants. You have that right under the Constitution, the right to sue the government. Judge such and such ruling is overturned and void. It's funny, man. It's funny how you fight, then it comes to you, and you got this good fucking feeling in your heart, you know? And now I gotta get envelopes, man. I gotta go to the store and get brown envelopes and stuff, and to the sheriff's department, to all of these individuals that's on the lawsuit, every one of these individuals that's on the lawsuit. It all goes to them, you know, goes to the courthouse, goes to the sheriff's department. It goes all of these motherfuckers, man. That's so beautiful, man. That is so fucking beautiful. You know, that is so beautiful, man. You know, and I got it in the mail. Got it in the mail. What's today? Today is what is today? I don't know what today is. I got it in the mail a couple of days ago, and I was just sitting back and trying to figure out what to do next. You know? Oh, it's in there. That's all I was doing. I was trying to figure out what to do next, man. And now I got one on this bullshit ass case here, you know. And I'm already doing my motion to have it removed from this court to federal court, because this is a violation of my constitutional rights, freedom of speech, freedom of the press. And plus, this also deals with how this judge violated my 14th Amendment, my 5th Amendment, my due process of law by ordering a psych evaluation. He has no authority and no right to order a psych evaluation. And I got that case right here on Thomas versus the United States. Now, this is a federal judge that they was trying to remove because of a psych evaluation. I mean, I guess he didn't like a lot of shit that a lot of the prosecutors were doing and stuff like that. And so a lot of prosecutors and some judges went against him, you know, to have him removed. And it all backfired in their face because he filed a lawsuit against the judges, against the state where he was from. He filed a lawsuit, and for them not to remove him, they asked if he'll dismiss the lawsuit. And so the appeals court out there, the appellate court out there said, no judge, no prosecutor, no attorney has the right whatsoever to authorize, this is in violation of that individual's 14th, 5th, 6th, and 15th Amendment rights. So no judge has a right to order a psych evaluation.
House lawmakers have rejected.
No judge has a right to order a psych evaluation. No judge, no prosecutor, none of them. Violation of that person's constitutional rights. And that's what some of them did not like, because the judge, that superior court already ruled that. Okay, they already ruled that. And this judge here, he wanted to be an ass, and he ordered a psych evaluation on me. And I'm telling him, I told him straight out, you're in violation of my constitutional rights, man. You're in violation of my constitutional rights, you know. And I guess he just didn't give a fuck about what the Constitution says. So now, since he didn't give a fuck about what the constitutional right says, now he jeopardized himself in a big ass lawsuit. You see, and that's the bottom line, man. I'm not playing with these motherfuckers no more, man. No, I'm not playing with these motherfuckers no more, man. You know, I'm gonna sue they fucking asses, man, and I got the right to sue them. See, that's the best thing about it all, man. There's so many court rulings where judges are not even allowed. They lose immunity. A lot of judges now loses immunity. You know, a lot of judges, a lot of police officers, they lose immunity because you violated the constitutional rights. And you can't do that. You can't do that no more, man. People are not, son of a bitch, I moved the wrong one. People are not doing that no more. Okay, here it is. Here it is right here. Here it is right here. A federal judge. This was a federal judge, okay? A federal judge who was forced to take a psych evaluation over the allegations of misbehaving in his court. The U.S. District Court Judge John R. Adams, District Court Judge, U.S. District Court Judge John R. Adams sent an appeal to the federal courts, Washington, D.C. One, what was appealing was that does a judge have the right, or prosecutor or defense attorney has a right to order a psych evaluation. On a 232 page, and also the history of jurisdiction, there has never been, ever, any justice or judge that has the authority to order a psych evaluation. Judge John A. Adams stood there motionlessly when he heard the decision that the appellate court ruled in his favor that no judge can order any defendant or anyone from the judge, the prosecution, DA, defense attorney, blase, can order a psych evaluation. This was in front of a panel of federal judges, federal jurisdiction judges, to a vote of 8-1. 8-1. 8-1. He filed a lawsuit because they violated his 14th, 15th, and 6th Amendment. The judge issued a subpoena and a court order to a psych evaluation for Judge John R. Adams to be immediately issued. He went through it, filed his lawsuit, filed his complaint, filed his appeal. He won his appeal on an 8-1 decision in front of a panel of other federal judges. And they stated it is unconstitutional. It is unconstitutional and violates the person's constitutional rights to order anyone to take a psych evaluation. Unconstitutional to take a psych evaluation. Right there, I don't know if y'all can see it, but that's Judge John R. Adams, and he won. But I'm telling this judge, you can't order me to take no psych evaluation. You can't. That's straight out of your jurisdiction. Number one, you know, you being a fucking jury, prosecutor, and everything all at once when you're not there for that. You there to represent. You there to fucking be a referee. You cannot be on the bench and practice law. That's in violation of the constitutional rights. You cannot be there and practice law on the bench. You got to remove yourself. You got to get the fuck out of there, man. I told him, I said, dude, I don't understand. I do not consent. All of this on record. I do not consent. I do not understand. I am on here out of threats. You know? Where's my bond? Who's getting paid on my bond? Where's my bit bond? You know, I'm saying, oh, I'm cutting the mic off on him. Cut the mic off. You just threatened me. You just violated my 6th Amendment. I got the right to speak in court. I got the right to defend myself. I got the right to say what the fuck I want to say. If I want to say you a bastard, you a bastard. If I want to say you racist, you racist. I got that constitutional right. It's been all over the fucking courts. No court, no government can pass any laws whatsoever. All laws, rules, and regulations are for government officials, employees only, not the Biden citizens. United States Superior Court, Superior Court of Minnesota, Superior Court of New York, Superior Court of California, Superior Court of Wisconsin, Superior Court of Alabama, Superior Court of Georgia, Superior Court of Texas, all over the country. All codes, rules, and regulations are for government officials, employees, not the Biden citizen. No court, no judge, no governor, no government official can go against the constitutional right. The constitutional right is the superior court of the land. The common law of the land. Freedom of speech, to bear arms, freedom to fight, freedom to protect yourself. That's the law of the land. Colorado, you cannot make a threat into a crime because somebody does not like what somebody says about them. So, when you file fake charges, that's a hate crime under federal laws. Hate crime. Retaliation is a federal law. Cruel and unusual punishment is a federal law. The only reason why they said probable cause is not by law, is by the color and my belief, which is my religion and my nationality. And they white judges. And I called them all racist bastard. One judge I never saw in my life, so I don't even see how the fuck he can even make a ruling on anything. I don't see how he can make a ruling on a fucking thing. I don't even see how this fucking can even make a fucking ruling. And he wasn't even in the courthouse. He was at his fucking court, whatever county he's from. 2-hour drive away from wherever county he's from. So he didn't even want to be in this county. This judge comes from another county. So he's way out of his jurisdiction. You know? And so they hate when we fight back. You see, that's what they hate, when we fight back. And I use that word very strongly. They hate when we fight back. You see, they hate that shit when we fight back. You violated every one of my fucking constitutional rights, and I'm coming after y'all. I'm coming after y'all what the law says I got a right to do. I got the right to sue you. I got the right to make you homeless, jobless. I got that constitutional right. Under the constitutional right, you got the right to sue the government. You have that constitutional right to sue the government. You have that constitutional right. You know, and I'm not backing down from no motherfucking body, man. I don't give a fuck what they are, who they are, whatever, man. I'm going after every fucking thing they own. You know, and I'm fucking fed up with this, man. I'm fed up with, man, I hate Minnesota with passion, man. Ever since the other day when I tried to go to the dentist and stuff and then got discriminated against there, you know. Give another example in the Constitution. Only people can file a criminal complaint. Criminal complaint has to be brought in front of a grand jury before any charges can be dismissed or any arrest be taken. Under the Lex Corp, I can't even talk, man. Okay? A grand jury is the only person that can issue an indictment for an arrest. A grand jury, only one that can issue a criminal complaint for an arrest on felonies. Okay? Now, let's see what it says here, though. You know? And it says here the same fucking thing where it says that all law enforcement that makes an arrest without the presence of the warrant, without the possession of the warrant, has committed a crime. And whoever signed, any judge or magistrate that signed the warrant, is also committed a crime. Okay? Minnesota states that warrant has to be in the possession of the officer. Once the officer takes the defendant or suspect into custody, first thing they got to do. They have to immediately read the warrant to the defendant. Immediately take them in front of a magistrate or a judge. Immediately. Not 24 hours, not 72 hours. Immediately. Not when they get ready to and all of that. Immediately. They have to be taken in front of a magistrate, and the magistrate has to either give bail or hear without bail. But the only one that is authorized to give bail is the sheriff's department, not a judge. Bet y'all didn't even know that, huh? Bet y'all didn't even know that, huh? See, the sheriff can put a judge's office in the shitter room. The sheriff runs the courts because they're the last defense of the Constitution. The sheriffs can allow police officers to either bring guns into their courthouses or not. The sheriffs are the ones that run those courthouses, not no judges, not no state. The sheriffs, the deputies, they run that shit. They could put a judge in the fucking bathroom if they want to hold court. Okay? Because that's what they're there for. The sheriffs run what courthouse you going in, what courtroom, and everything else. The sheriff does that, not the state, not the judges. The sheriffs are responsible for them courthouses. Not no judge, not no prosecutor, none of them. The sheriffs. So when they slipping and you catch them, they have to be removed. There's no ifs and no buts. See, when they put the signs up, no guns in the courts, that's not for us. That's supposed to be for them. Because you see, the United States, the so-called United States Superior Court already ruled July of 2023 that any posted signs is unconstitutional. Any signs, even business puts up, is a violation of the constitutional rights. They're unconstitutional. They have to be removed. The only thing that you got a right to put a sign on is if you selling your house, you put a sign out there. But business and courthouses and government buildings, they got to remove those signs. We got the right to video court. We got the right to record you in court. We got the right to record every motherfucking body. We have that constitutional right. Even though we already know that we have this right. So we don't need a fucking 12 panel judges to tell us this. Because what right gives you to put cameras all over the fucking United States? You didn't get my permission. See, but that's how stupid society is. You can't film me, you need my approval. Motherfucker, I don't need your approval. You can't record your kids in public, we can record them. So all that shit you can't record kids, that's a bunch of bullshit. No fucking such law. The laws are for them. The penal codes are for them. You got cops, you got deputies, you got sheriffs, you got judges, you got prosecutors, child molestation, sex trafficking, nude pictures of kids, and they're not in jail. So don't come with me with that bullshit. Every time you take your kid out in the street, your kid is being recorded. They know how to snatch your kid, what time your kid go to bed, because you, the stupid parent, you shouldn't even have a child. If you could let your child get snatched, you need to be in prison. You need to be in jail because you didn't give a fuck about your child. You didn't give 2 fucks about your child. It was on the news, man. This black lady, man, she pissed me off. She's on the phone and she let her kid run up and down in front of the house, but she ain't even keeping her eye on her kid. And as she on the phone arguing with somebody, some car pulled up and snatched her kid. And now she crying. Bitch, you don't need no kids. You shouldn't even have kids. If you can't have your kid right there by your side, you shouldn't even have kids. Because you don't give a fuck about your kid. You got to take your kid shopping, have that kid in your arms. Don't release your child. You got to put something on, bring that kid with you. You don't sit your kid down and you walk away. You don't deserve no kids. Because, see, they know these people that watch you from the Catholic Church to the Protestant Church to the Christianity Church to the Jewish Church, they know how stupid you are. They already know how stupid you motherfuckers are. I don't give a fuck if you a cop, a deputy, a sheriff, a judge, a prosecutor. They already know how stupid you are. By the time you notice your kid is gone, your kid is gone. Your kid is already out the door on his way on a plane. That's how fast they work. You do it to yourself. There was only one person in the history of mankind of industry. Only one person that refused when his kids were babies, that refused to let those pictures be seen of his kids all over the world was Michael Jackson. He protected his kids. Michael Jackson was the smartest man out there. He sung about everything that's about to happen, and none of you motherfuckers listened. None of you people listened whatsoever. Everything was in his song. Everything was in his songs, and none of y'all listened. None of y'all listened. That was the smartest man in the world. It was Michael Jackson. He didn't let nobody get no pictures of his kids. He was smart. Until they got older, that's when you saw pictures of his kids. It was their decision. It was their decision. You know, their decision. Michael Jackson protected his kids. And behind hate, y'all try to charge this man with bullshit behind hate. Hate. And they backfired in your faces. It's just like with every other African-American man that gets locked up. It's in the entertainment business. Some of them are stupid. Guarantee you that. Some of them are stupid. But it's always behind hate. It's always behind hate. Like the instance with Bill Cosby. So you saying that you can go back 20 to 30 years for a crime that never happened just because a bitch says that it happened. You can go back 20 to 30 years. Then we got the right to sue 20 to 30 years. We got that constitutional right. We got that constitutional right to sue back from 20 to 30 years. We got, if you can go back 20 to 30 years, then we got the same fucking right to sue way back to 20 to 30 years. We have the same constitutional right to sue, no matter what. No matter what, you know. Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters. May Allah be with y'all. I'm praying for y'all. I know we don't pray for other people, but my prayers, when I pray, I hope Allah answer my prayers and protect y'all, man. All my brothers and sisters out there from Iran, Iraq, and Israel, man, they just killing y'all, man, and it hurts. I wish I was in the war right now. I really do. I would fight for y'all. I would fight for my brothers and sisters. There's no ifs and no buts about it. I got that right to fight for whoever I want to fight for. And let's get one thing clear here. The biggest gang members is our government. They're the biggest gang members, from the police department, the sheriff's department. They're the biggest gang members, motherfuckers, man. You know, people, we need to start coming together, putting out of office these Republicans and Democrats, especially the ones that signed that bill for Israel to get that 14 point whatever billion dollars. They need to be out of office, man. They need to be out of office. They and you veterans, man, wake the fuck up, man, because you're about to lose your money too. Wake the fuck up, you know. Wake the fuck up, you know. And what's so funny is that stupid ass women that voted to have charges filed against a woman if she goes to another state to have an abortion. You can't do the same thing. Your ass going to jail too. Oh, there was this one stupid ass racist white bitch. She got busted, and because she lost some election, Mothers Against some bullshit it was. So she lost the election, and she gets popped for drunk driving and got the audacity. You can't put your hands on me. You don't touch me. And they locked that dumb bitch up, man. You don't got no right to put your hands on me. She spit in his face and everything. They locked her ass up. It was fucking on YouTube and shit, man. It was fucking, I forgot what you call it. They're very racist. They all white women. They very fucking racist. Stop black books, burn black books. We don't want them in the neighborhood. Man, you know what? I get the money, I'm gonna find a place where all whites I live at. And I'm moving right the fuck there. I'm moving right the fuck there. And I dare the motherfuckers to come and throw shit on my lawn or around my house. You lose. Your blood life will be taken, you know. And so then the other day, he so-called "Make America Great, get rid of the blacks, get rid of the Mexicans." We the Klansmen. The same motherfuckers as police officers, sheriffs, fire department, nurses, doctors. They got their ass whipped in East LA. They went down the wrong road, so they pick it in, white power, and you got the Crips, you got the Bloods, you got the SA gang, you got these people, you got them people. You went in, oh shit, we came down the wrong neighborhood, boys. Let's get out of here. Help, police, help. Nobody came to help them. They got their ass whipped. They carrying the Klansman flag, sheets over their heads. They got their ass beat down, man. They went to the wrong neighborhood. We ain't tolerating that shit no more. It's not like the 30s, the 20s, the 40s. We got guns. We will take your ass out. We got the right to defend our family, our home. We ain't tolerating that shit no more, man. This is a different times, man. Go to your white neighborhoods and do that. Oh, honey, they're out there. The Klansmen are out there. Oh, don't worry, dear. You're white. We're white. But we don't follow them, though. Just stay calm, honey. Just stay calm. Just let's turn the TV off, put the dogs quiet and the cat quiet, like nobody's home, so they could just keep walking by. That's the other white people. That's the other white people. It was funny. They went to the wrong neighborhood. It's been all over the news for months, man, for weeks. They went to the wrong neighborhood, and you hear the guy on, oh no, we turned down the wrong fucking road, man. Let's get the fuck out of here. They got this big ass Ku Klux Klan flags on. They got sheets over their heads. They got their asses whipped. I said, my buddy, I wish I was there. I would have did the same thing to them motherfuckers. They got their asses whipped. They got their asses whipped. They went down to the wrong neighborhood where they ain't supposed to be and got their ass whipped with that racist shit, man. And then this happened in Griffith Park in California last week. So you got these guys passing out flyers in Griffith Park of racism, right? So you got some white people there, you got some Spanish people there, you got a couple of black people there and stuff. So they passing these flyers around about Hitler this, Hitler that, right? Donate your money, give us your money, and we take care of it, and all kinds of crazy shit, right? So one of the essays picks it up and said, dude, are you passing this around, my kids? So guy got smart. He said, hold on for a minute. He whistled. About 7, 8 guys that are his brothers. This motherfucker got a half an army of brothers. And you got these Ku Klux Klan motherfuckers in Griffith Park passing flyers around of all motherfucking places in California. Griffith Park. Are you waiting to die? You came to die. Man, they got their ass whipped, man. And then all of a sudden, some brothers, real brothers, not the house kissing niggas. These are real brothers. And all of a sudden, they trying to figure out what's going on. And one of the guys run past him and drops this pile of papers. And he picks it up and says, what the fuck? Kill all niggas? Oh, hell no. All of a sudden, man, they running after this motherfucker, man. And then you got some other white people that's not even for that shit. They were mad. They kicking their ass. Here you got LAPD. Let me see, that's Griffith Park. So that's Ramparts Division. Here you got Ramparts Division trying to get the fuck over there quick. You got the ambulance coming. You got the fire department coming. By the time they got there, them dudes got their asses beat the fuck down. Some broken nose, broken arms, and everything else. But not one of them motherfuckers got arrested. Not one of them. They all went to the hospital. That's what they get. They all went to the motherfucker. Oh, 2 guys got arrested. 2 Klansmen got arrested. One was on because one had a gun, a 9mm, and the other one had a machete. So those 2 got locked up. One had a machete under his sheet. Those 2 got locked up. And I'm like, these stupid motherfuckers, man. They, you know, it's funny. Everybody goes and says, we got to remove guns. We got to remove guns. Motherfucker, remove the guns from police departments, sheriff's departments. Take all of their guns. Our Second Amendment right. We got the right to bear arms. You ain't fucking with nothing. That's the bottom line. Come for my guns, I'm shooting. You ain't got no fucking right. We got our constitutional rights to protect us. The Second Amendment protect us. We got the right to have firearms. We got the right to protect our family. We got the right to protect our home. So you want to remove guns? Take all weapons from police and sheriffs. All law enforcement. Remove all weapons. That's what you do. Remove all fucking weapons from them. You see? But y'all don't talk that shit when these motherfuckers go out, raid houses, kill people in their homes, sleeping in beds. You don't bring that shit up about guns. You only bring it up when school attacks, park attacks. But guess what? All of the school attacks are from white people, racist white people. The same people that you go to school with and work with are the ones going out there shooting up kids. We got so many laws about guns don't mean a fucking thing. And in the Constitution, it says it's against the law to background check anybody. That's in violation of their privacy. So your laws don't mean shit because you're in conflict with the constitutional right. You have no right to tell somebody they're not allowed to buy guns, they're not allowed to hold guns, they're not allowed to be around. You have no fucking laws to even pass like that because you have no constitutional rights to even say that. Fuck the judges, the DAs, and all the motherfuckers, man. You cannot violate our constitutional rights no more. People are waking the fuck up. We taking back our government, which means we got the right to remove any crooked government official. It's in the Constitution. We got the right to pick it. We have that constitutional right to remove all crooked government. We, the people, put you in. We, the people, take you out. There can't be no more private closed door deals and all of that shit. No more of that shit. Corporations about to go the fuck down. Corporations about to go the fuck down. We could sue corporations. We could sue judges. We could sue prosecutors. There's not a motherfucking thing that you can say when you violate our constitutional rights. You have no rights once you violate our constitutional rights. We're about to have a civil war in the United States, all because of this fucking dude that's in office. He lost all votes. So let's see, you call in the National Guards. I think some of the National Guards will kill some of their family members. I believe they will, because they can't stand them. So that's no problem there. But the other 1% or 2% ain't going to do that. You know, you got some military people now saying straight, I'm not going overseas to fight with no fucking Israel. That's none of my fucking business. I'm not going to another country to fight for for them. No, you all over militaries in different countries. I'm not going over there to fight Israel. That's their motherfucking problem. You got motherfuckers in the United States that did the same fucking thing, and I'm not going to Israel. I'm not going to fight with Israel or protect Israel. Fuck our government. That's what they're saying. These people are already in the military tonight. They're not going to fight for Israel. This president, that's his last term. That's his last term because he went against every fucking human being and human rights. This is that last president's term. We rather put Lassie in office, a fucking dog in office. That's what we rather do. That's what we rather put Lassie in office. You know, because nobody's voting for no Democrats or Republicans. Except the racist motherfuckers. They'll vote for the Republicans. But the Republicans ain't taking shit no more. People ain't taking shit from the Republicans no more. Anytime you're going against and you talk shit, which doesn't have nothing to do with the deficit, about cutting veterans pay, cutting their money that fought for this lousy fucking country. No, you lost. You lost. You fucking lost. Because you saying to every military family, fuck you. You do not have a right to live. Wake the fuck up, people, because that's what Republicans and Democrats are saying. We have no right to live. Let they motherfucking lousy family members go to war. Then you got China. Then you got Russia. Let me tell you, stupid son of a bitch, or something for the last time. We have never won a war. We have never won a war. We have killed more of our own people behind wars and poisoned us than any countries ever have. We have never won a war. Not World War I, World War II, not the Vietnam War. We have never won a war. We went into those people's backyard and got our asses whipped. It was so bad where we was bombing our own fucking people. So don't believe those war stories you see on movies and shit, because that's not true. None of those war stories are true. America is a fantasy land. Our government is the corruptest government in the world. We need laws like other countries have. Corrupt governments get executed. Corrupt governments get seized by the military and they get executed. We are the crookedest country in the world. Why should my son go to war for something that you started and you lied about? No, my son is not going. Neither is my daughter. I don't give a fuck about your drafts and none of that. You started it. Saying we used to have, you want to fight this guy? Yeah. He's 6'6". How tall are you? 4'3"? Yeah. All right. Go on at it. That's being a man. Not pulling out no guns. Not beating somebody when they handcuff. You ain't a man. You's a punk. You's a punk. That goes for even the house niggas. They're punks. I love on the news when I see them motherfuckers get killed. That gives me a hard on. I'm not gonna lie about it, man. Because you do not deserve to live. Because you have no respect for nothing or nobody. You try to be white so much. Even some Mexicans try to be white so much. It's pathetic. You could never be white. But you're the first motherfucking one to get ditched, though. I bet you that much. There was a black cop that sued LAPD because they discriminated against him, because they called him a house nigga. Well, that's what you was, a house nigga. If I was on the jury, remember, you wouldn't have got shit. You have lied on police reports. You have set suspects up before. You have planted evidence before. You wouldn't have got shit in a lawsuit. Neither would that bitch. No, you don't deserve no money. You just like all pigs, cops, sheriffs, and deputies. You just like all of them all. You just like them all. But now they're hitting us vets. They're hitting all vets and their families. What the fuck y'all gonna do, man? What the fuck are y'all gonna continue believing the Republicans and Democrats? The Republicans want to take everything from us. The Republicans. That's the first thing that motherfucker, Speaker of the House, said. We're going to cut Social Security. Motherfucker, you can't touch Social Security. You got to return back all the money that y'all took out of Social Security. Social Security has nothing to do with the deficit whatsoever. Social Security comes off of payroll taxes and employment taxes and insurance taxes. That's what Social Security comes off of. You can't touch Social Security. You hang yourself. That's what you got to do. You got to go ahead and hang yourself. That's what the fuck you got to do. Every Republican that's married, their wives should be packing their shit and getting away because they have no rights and they that stupid. Them racist white motherfuckers are that stupid. You know? They are that stupid. Veterans, wake the fuck up. The Republicans are not for nobody. Neither some of these Democrats, man. We gotta put in office that we know that's gonna fight for their oath of office, that truly believes, and it's hard to find that nowadays. It's hard to find. Look at that fat Mexican guy that swindled money, and he was a Republican and got just removed. He did the same thing all the other Republicans do, but I forgot he's Spanish. Nobody thought about that. Ted Cruz does the same fucking thing he does. He did. The only difference was Ted Cruz sexually harasses somebody, and the other guy, Mark, whatever the fuck his name, sexually harassed so many women and touched kids, and he's still a Republican. But all this stupid Mexican guy did as a Republican was lied, financial fraud. But every Republican and Democrat does the same fucking thing he did. Why are they not out of office? Because he's Spanish. He's either Mexican or from Honduras. Because he's Spanish. That's why. He dressed up as a drag queen. So does the rest of the Republicans. So does some of the Democrats. The only reason why is because he's Spanish. And you stupid people don't even look at the truth. You are blind. You are stupid. Every Republican and Democrat does the same motherfucking thing that he did. Campaign fraud. Lied. Because he's Spanish. Because he's Spanish. That's the only reason why. Because he's Spanish. Now, how does it feel when white people don't want you? Then white people don't want no house niggas in there no more. They don't want none of y'all in there. And that's our Congress. They don't give a fuck about history. They don't give a fuck about the constitutional rights. They don't give a fuck about slavery or none of that shit. Congress don't want no more house niggers. Governor Sanchez, he need to be sent back to his fucking country because he ain't from the United States, neither is his family. That other guy that's in the wheelchair, he need to go back to his motherfucking country. Put his crippled ass in the wheelchair and throw his ass overseas, send him back to his motherfucking country. You know? Those are the Klansmen. Those governors are the Klansmen from Florida, Texas, New York. They are the Klansmen. Then you got that black bald-headed mayor of New York. That's a house nigga, straight up. He a straight house nigga, boy. He Uncle Tom. He want to be so fucking white so bad. But let him go in the wrong neighborhood. See how quick he get his ass whipped. Okay? You know, he ain't nothing. He ain't nothing but a house nigga. He's nothing but a house nigga. That's all he is. Even in the Republicans and Democrats, they got number house niggas, man. The NAACP, house niggas. They don't give toe higher fucks. But when they see a white trash person, how they call it, a white trailer trash get shot down, cops locked up immediately. Cops held immediately without bail. Whatever cop or deputy or sheriff did the shooting, they held immediately. Lawsuits go immediately against them. They fired immediately. But when it comes to Spanish or blacks, you got to wait years to even get the motherfucker put in jail. You see? So the NAACP was nothing but a pacifier. That's all that was. How can we control these stupid ass monkeys? Okay, we get them a pacifier. We'll start the NAACP. What's so bad about it is people don't even really see the true picture. You see, how did welfare start? Everyone that was on welfare was government employees, Congress's kids. That's how they went to school. That's how they got rich. Look up the history. Who started that? The Black Panthers. The Black Panthers are the ones that started to start feeding the poor, start helping the poor of the black neighborhoods. It was the Black Panthers. Your history is all a lie. We had 5 black presidents in the United States. It didn't change until Lincoln, until George Washington ran for president. That's when it changed. Okay? And George Washington was never the founding father of America. George Washington was never the first president. We had 5 different black presidents. America was all black country, but y'all didn't realize that. The map is even wrong, but y'all didn't understand or realize that. Your whole history was a lie. Thanksgiving was a massacre day, but y'all celebrate Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was the worst massacre day for Indians in this country. Thanksgiving was. Christmas is not even from America. Christmas is from Russia. And Christmas is when you get your ass beat down. That's what Christmas is in Russia. Halloween. Halloween is nothing but a day of witches. But you don't realize that. You celebrate Halloween. Valentine's Day is a day where you got 72 hours to whip your woman's ass without no repercussions. Valentine's Day is the day to slaughter, to beat, to kill your woman. That's what Valentine's Day really is about. Look up the history of Valentine's Day. But you stupid motherfuckers celebrate Valentine's Day. Red roses ain't got a fucking thing to do with love. But you stupid son of bitches believing red roses got something to do with love. Red roses don't have nothing to do with love. Red roses has only to do with death. That's it. Death. Red roses have nothing to do with love. You got 2 roses. If a person gives you, they're going to kill you. A red rose and a black rose. Look up the history. Look up the fucking history. Stop celebrating Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is a day you got 72 hours to beat the shit out of your woman, to rape her, to molest her, to kill her. You only get 72 hours. Look up the history of Valentine's Day. Christmas was a fraud. And you let these stupid ass churches get you too. You suckers. Every one of you suckers. I told you I'm gonna start selling a bowl of shit with biscuits and rice on it. And y'all gonna give me that money for it. Y'all gonna give me that money for it. Because that's how stupid society is in America. And how you bringing up your stupid ass kids. Okay? That's how stupid y'all are. Churches tell you give money to the church. That's the only way you're going to heaven. No fucking such thing. God has never said nothing in no Bible whatsoever about give money to a church. While these motherfuckers got $20,000, $40,000 Rolexes on their hands, riding in a Mercedes-Benz, a Rolls Royce, got a plane. Take them to go snatch other kids from other countries. God never said a motherfucking thing about give money to a church. God never said no such thing. But you stupid son of bitches go to church to praise your God. Give money to, the church, the God said, we got to buy a 747 jet so we can fly back and forth to praise his word and to make sure that you go to heaven. Y'all some stupid son of a bitches. Church is nothing but a big billion-dollar pyramid. That's all the churches was. A billion-dollar pyramid that molested kids in every religion out there. Every church, every Catholic, every Protestant, every Baptism, every Jewish was molesting kids. That's all they are, molesters. And you helped. You helped. There's no fucking way. And you know what's the funny thing If you go find your original Bible, I wouldn't give a fuck what religion you are. You look into your original Bible, there's nothing in there that says give anything to a church. Nothing whatsoever. There's nothing in there that says give anything to a church. You ain't gonna find no chapter about give everything to a church. You're not gonna find that. Even the Second Amendment, as they call it, which is a bunch of bullshit. Which is totally a bunch of bullshit, because the Second Amendment is their words. Those words are not from God. Those words are not even from a God, not even from a Jesus Christ. Okay? That's how stupid society is, you know? And it's funny, you know, you turn around and you give thousands and thousands of dollars to fucking churches while they riding around in Rolexes, Mercedes-Benz, Rolls Royces, Cadillacs, and all this shit. But you need something from your church, you ain't getting shit. We can't help you. We don't got the money. We got to buy this property. God said we got to buy this property. Y'all got to kick in. Yeah, y'all got to kick in. Yeah. God said you got to kick in. That's the only way you're going to get to heaven. Motherfuckers, there ain't no such goddamn thing as heaven. There ain't no fucking such thing. When your ass is dead, you are dead. Period. You ain't going to come up and go to no heaven. We live in hell. That's what we live in, hell. We are already in hell. And that's as far as every fucking human being is going. Well, every living thing is going. Because if you look in the dictionary, the phrase human being, the original phrase of a human being is a monster. So I can't call myself a human being. All I can say is I'm just a living thing, period. You know, y'all stupid. Society is stupid. Society is way out there really stupid, you know. And these people that's running for president, stop saying for the American people. I'm American. I'm not with you. So don't put me in your bullshit lies. Because I'm not with you, not 1,000%. I'm not with you. Not 100%, not 50%, not 10%. I'm not with you. You'll never get my vote again. Nobody will ever get a vote for me. Now, if I saw that judge that ran for president, that held that deputy without bail for trial for raping his kin, if she threw her hat in for president, I'll vote for her. I'll vote for her. But my vote now, I ain't getting my vote for shit. I don't trust none of you motherfuckers no more. I never did from the beginning, you know? And that's the bottom line. You know? And then you got motherfuckers out there, you got these house niggas out there putting Obama down. You know, I think the only thing Obama did wrong in my eyes, and I got a right to my opinion, I think the only thing Obama did wrong in my eyes was that he didn't put a thing of an investigation on the mortgage companies. And it was bad because the mortgage companies took the house, they sold it again, so they got triple paid for ripping people off of their homes and everything else. So they got triple paid. They got triple paid, you know? And there was a case that I tried to bring up to file an appeal on a motion when we lost the house, right? Where they never put no money into the house. So how can they say that they have the house, you know? Okay, so where did this imaginary money come from? Out of thin air? You just put numbers on the paper? No, where did it come from? See, people, you cannot lose your homes no more. Start looking into the laws about your homes, man. There's one big ass case in Minnesota where this man was fighting for his property. This bank tried to foreclose on his property. And that is the best case in the state of Minnesota. He bought his house years ago. Back in the 20s, I think it was. 20s or 40s, whatever. And the land was worth a lot of money. And to make a long story short, this bank tried to foreclose on him. How you going to foreclose? You don't own my property. You didn't put nothing into this property and nothing like that. And he proved it. And he won. You know, you did not put this because this person gave you paperwork, then where's the money? Where's the money? Banks commit paper trail of fraud. You know, paper trail of fraud. Like this one judge, we was never notified that this agency, it was called Green Tree, and they went out of business because they got sued big time for the same thing they did to us, but other people in other states. In California, they sued them so fucking big. Oh man, they sued them in Minnesota, they sued them in Texas, they sued them in New York, they sued them in Colorado, California, called Green Tree. So they claimed that they bought our mortgage. No, you didn't. You never notified us. But at that time, this lady judge got her kickback with the mortgage companies to grant whatever they wanted. This judge got it a kickback. You know, yeah, she got it a kick. She didn't give a fuck. Look, we telling you, you know, we telling the courts, we never got notification about this, but this agency, which was GMC, was taking the payments out every month out of the account, right? And I told him, I said, no, we got insurance. We don't need to buy your homeowner's insurance. Fuck your homeowner's insurance. That don't mean shit to me. We have insurance. And we're going to continue staying without, no, you got to buy homeowner's insurance from us. No, I do not. I don't got to buy homeowner's insurance from your motherfucking asses, man. I have homeowner's insurance. You know, so we going through all of that and all of that. I finally went on that shit with them, right? So the judge, she got some kickback. She got maybe, let me see. So each case that she heard in the foreclosures with Green Tree and all of the other ones in the state of Minnesota, she got it $90,000 for each case that she heard, and she got it $136,000 if she went in favor with the mortgage companies. That ain't me saying that. That's the news people saying that shit. They saying this is what judges were getting paid. If they went with the mortgage companies, they got paid between 100 and something thousand, close to 200 and something thousand to go in the mortgage company's favor, when there's no documentation proof that they even brought the mortgage or notified the people that own the original mortgage or has the original deed of the property. They had no evidence but one thing. Well, yes, Your Honor, we sent them the paperwork. It is not our fault if it got lost in the mail. And these are the way these judges was ripping off the hardworking individuals during the mortgage crisis. Every one of them judges should have been removed, and everything should have been confiscated from their bank accounts and all of that shit, so they could live the same way that the people that lost their homes behind crookedness and fraud mortgages and everything else. You know, it's just like it's just a similar same thing that happened in my divorce. I'm telling the judge on record, you know, that somebody is opening up accounts with my social security number, and the only one that knows my social security number, and I've witnessed this several times, sign my name, was my ex-wife. And she used to do credit card fraud in Minnesota, she told me. And she used to be a prostitute in Minnesota, she told me. Man, I didn't even know what the fuck Minnesota was. I never knew Minnesota even existed. Okay? I don't know nothing about Minnesota, man. I don't know shit about Minnesota. I go out the door, I get lost, man. Okay? So I don't know shit about Minnesota. I never knew until about a month ago. I'm watching Sports Illustrated, right? I don't know if y'all remember that show, Sports Illustrated. And they were talking about the history of Los Angeles Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers are originally Minnesota Lakers. I never knew that. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all of those good-ass Laker players are originally from Minnesota. It was the Minnesota Lakers. They were sold. Yes, they are originally from Minnesota. The Los Angeles Lakers are originally from Minnesota. Every one of those big-ass players are originally from Minnesota. They are not from California. They are not, no way on hell they are from California. Los Angeles Lakers are originally from Minnesota. There was the Minnesota Lakers. Minnesota, I think, yeah, Minnesota Lakers. I didn't even know that until I seen that on sports, on the sports show. You know, never knew that until about a month ago. Sports Illustrated, Illustrated Sports, whatever the hell you call it. I was watching it, I'm like, no fucking way. So all of these idiots home riding for the Lakers, and these motherfuckers originally from Minnesota. I never knew Minnesota even existed. I never knew shit about me. I still don't know nothing about Minnesota, man. I go out the door, I get lost, you know. But I was happy being married because whenever we went anywhere, we went together, you know, and she turn here, baby, go this way. Okay, no problem. You know, I'm gonna put it on your phone. You hold your phone like this, and I'm putting in the GPS, whatever the fuck. Okay, and you just look at it right here. All right. I said, okay. Now you come and get me. Okay. You know, I got lost every fucking time, man. I got lost every time I went out the door, man. You know, even now I still get lost. One day I had to fucking sleep in the car, man. I couldn't even fucking find my way back. I couldn't find my way back for shit. It got dark and I couldn't find my way back, man. That's the only problem I have. I get lost, man. So anyway, like I told this judge, I said, well, I never got those papers. So the attorney goes, well, I emailed them to you. No, you didn't. You didn't email me shit. You didn't email me a motherfucking thing. And I'm telling the judge, I can pull up my email right now. You got a computer? You know, I can pull up my email. He never emailed me nothing. Well, I'm taking what he said. He emailed. So you allowing perjury again in your court. And the judge is going, yes, I'm allowing perjury in my court. They got the right to purge themselves. They got the right to commit perjury. They got the right to submit false documents. They got that right. So I'm saying they got to be charged with perjury. I think that was the first time she wanted me to hold my hand up about swear to tell the truth. I told her, hell no. You're not letting them tell the fucking truth. You allowed them to commit perjury in this court. I'm on record saying this. It's being recorded as I'm in court. I got every recording when I first filed my divorce. Every recording. You know, it's okay for her and her attorney to file false documents. It's okay for her and her attorney to commit perjury. It's just that you can't. What the fuck? Yeah. So I filed a complaint against the judge. And her supervisor was a white lady. You could tell she drinks by her eyes. She was a white lady, her supervisor. And the statement that I got, that we found out, was give them something, because if you don't give them anything, then that's a problem for both of us. It goes straight to federal court. Okay. All right. And that was the deal that her and her supervisor made. Right. And so then I wasn't happy with that. I'm like, wait a minute. This shit is all wrong here, man. What's going on here? You know, the fuck is going on here? So then I find out that I got a right. Then I find out that I should start learning the laws, my constitutional rights. She pushed me into that. The judge did. Yeah, I thank her on that. Now, don't get me wrong. She was a fine judge. That was a pretty ass lady. She is fine. But when you allow perjury and hate and retaliation against me, then I have to come after you. What the law says I got a right to do. I got the right to sue you. You show bias and you show discrimination on all your decisions towards me. You knew that these people were lying. You knew that these people were submitting false evidence to the courts. You knew this. You was aware of this. So there's no way you can get out of this here. There's no way. There's the documentation. These wasn't paid. This wasn't paid. This was never paid. There's documentation on it. Here's documentation, collection agencies, and blase, blase. You see this. Anytime it's a write-off, a company writes it off, they do a tax write-off or write-off, you know, and they get paid from the IRS, gives them that money. you know, and then they sell it to a collection agency, which they don't have no constitutional right to sell nothing under the Fair Credit Act to no collection agency. And no collection agency has a right to have my information because I did not give them the consent whatsoever. Okay. And even IRS are crooks. And then I had her removed, and they put this new judge that I've never seen, never went in front of yet. Never even laid eyes on this motherfucker. Never got the chance for my motion or my affidavit to be heard. He just went in favor of the defendant that filed a motion for dismissal, which is void. That's invalid. It's void because I didn't have the opportunity to go in front of the judge because of the snowstorm, and he refused to give me another court date, which is in violation of my constitutional rights. You know, so I'm learning all this shit, man. I'm putting all this shit down on paper. I just got finished doing my appeal on this idiot, and then the idiot got removed as her attorney. So I'm going after the law firm now. I'm going after the law firm to file a lawsuit against the law firm for the perjury, the conspiracy, the hate, retaliation, et cetera, and everything else. And I got that constitutional right to do that. There's so many cases where you got the right to go after law firms for corruption, for conspiracy, perjury on record. So he's under the license of this law firm. So I got the right to go after that law firm's license. And I'm going to put a hell of a talk on that company. You see? So I'm learning the law about all of this and stuff, man. I'm like, damn. You know? And I'll never forget when the judge said, well, how much do you want? $650. That's it. Just $650. I'm cool. And for her to pay those medical bills when she put me in the hospital. That's all I wanted. I filed the divorce. I was the petitioner to file a divorce. I just want her out of my life. I don't want no more to deal with. I wouldn't give a fuck if she lived or died. You know? Want her out of, matter of fact, I was told by 5 different attorneys, man, you're the only one that I've seen that has a restraining order out on you, and you got one out on her, and you have not once violated that restraining order. For what? I don't want to be married no more. I petitioned the court for the divorce. I petitioned the court for the divorce. See, give us some good men, give us the benefit of the doubt and a good part. I was a good husband, you know. She didn't have to do shit. She wanted to work, she worked. She didn't have to do shit. She didn't have to do a motherfucking thing. Nothing. She wanted to work, she worked. We was living the best life of them all. You know, we used to, during the holidays, we went to certain stores, and we'll pay for people's foods during the holidays, and always donated toys, you know, at Tots for Toys. Always. We bought it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars of toys, you know, and donated every fucking year, man. Every year. So we had money, you know, and it was like everything just crumbled. She was taught by this individual how to take all the money out of the bank without nobody knowing. She was taught all of that crooked shit. She was taught all that. She was taught how to access my Social Security account. They hacked into that. There was a report made by the FBI because they hacked into the Social Security government official website. They hacked into that. They changed all of the information on there. I'm going back and forth to Social Security. Then I get the bombshell hit on me. I get a notice from Uncle Sam, IRS. Dude, you did not send me no money. You did not send me shit. You know, well, she claimed you on 2020 taxes. How is that possible? We've been divorced. How is that even possible? But they said it's okay. It's okay for her to claim you on her taxes in 2020 when y'all was already divorced and separated. That's okay. She can do that. I'm like, God damn, fucking women in Minnesota get away with some shit, man. Fucking women in Minnesota get away with some shit. You know, I just can't believe this shit. A buddy of mine asked me the other day, matter of fact, over here, he said, hey man, Kelly, let me ask you a question. He said, what up? What made you get married? What made me get married? Oh man, love at first sight. I never in my life thought I would ever experience that, but she was my first wife, first time married, love at first sight, man. I was the happiest man in the world. I was the happiest man in the world until when he asked me when did it end, I said it ended until around November 1st or 15th, when she started hanging out with an buddy of ours, his ex-wife, putting all that shit in her head. In 2019, she started going over there drinking every night. She had an accident. She hit a parked car or something. She was telling me that she hit the garage. I got the car fixed and everything. And then all of a sudden, I'm finding drugs in the car, all kinds of shit. And matter of fact, I was washing the car. I was cleaning out the car. My neighbor came over as I was doing it, and he was helping me pull the seats out so I could vacuum, right? And we found a bag. It was like this little plastic bag that had remember rock candy? And he goes, yeah. So that's what it was like, rock candy. It was like the see-through kind of rock candy, but it was in this little bag. And I didn't even know the motherfucker was on the floor. And then found some guy's ID on the floor. It was some guy's prison ID on the floor under the mat. And I dropped that off. He took that shit. He said, man, you know what that is? I says, no, what's that? That's the same shit my cousin went to jail for. That's what the fuck you call it? I forgot the name of it because I don't know nothing about drugs. But he said, get rid of that shit, man. So we got rid of it and stuff, and then we dropped the fucking prison ID off in the fucking mailbox and shit. And she comes down and asks her to find an ID. And he looking at me, and I'm looking at her. What do you mean find an ID? Whose ID? Said, oh, no, nothing. You know? And so then I'm like, oh, okay. All right. So this bitch back to her old tricks. All right. So I'm just counting the days, and meanwhile, everything is coming into play. Everything is coming in and stuff. And then he asks me, he says, were you happy? I said, hey, man, I was the happiest man in the world, man. That was the first time I was married. First time I ever fell in love with someone. Man, I was very, very happy, man. But when the abuse and the attempted murder started on me and stuff, it had to go, man. I couldn't take it no more, man. And the lies that she told me, I mean, every day I was busting her in the lies, man. Money disappearing out of the account, and she doing sex videos with some guy up out of New York that works for AutoZone. You know, I mean, that's what he claimed. He worked for AutoZone out of New York, you know, and stuff. And she's sending money to this motherfucker and stuff. And no, bitch, get the fuck out, man. Get the fuck out. She tried to kill me twice. Nothing happened to her. Minnesota says it's okay. The police report wanted to lock her up in Apple Valley, but because we was in a different jurisdiction, they said it happened and they couldn't do nothing. So they sent everything over there. Did she ever get locked? Nope, she never got locked up. Nothing ever happened to her, man. You know, but if a guy has what she has, they go to jail immediately. There's no buts, and they be held without bail. That's the funny thing about it. But not in Minnesota. Minnesota, the women can set you up. They can try to kill you. They can lie good. They're the best motherfucking liars. Women in Minnesota are the best motherfuckers. They get Academy Awards, dude. If any state for women for the best liars, if they gave out Academy Awards, it goes to Minnesota. Because the women in Minnesota are some lying motherfuckers, man. They are some dogs, man. They are lying motherfuckers, man. The women in Minnesota are some lying motherfuckers, man. You know, they get the Academy Awards. Some of the women in Minnesota get the Academy Awards for lying so much, man, on people. You know, just behind lies, just to make themselves look important and shit, you know. But we know the truth. We know the truth, you know. And that's it, man. But if you're gonna love somebody, want somebody, it comes from within your heart, your mind, your heart, and your soul, not on the outside. The outside don't mean shit. You know, beauty is only skin deep. But understand, beauty also hides the true devil of that person. Remember that. Beauty always hides the true person, devil of that person. That devil is under all of that beauty. Remember that. You know, and he said, so I said, well, why are you asking? Because I'm thinking about getting married. No, don't do it. Don't get married. if you get married, do not put nothing in both your names. You keep your shit in yours. Let her keep her shit in hers. Don't put no bank accounts in joint accounts. None of that. Keep everything that you have in your name. Period. Don't joint account shit. Don't sign for shit for her. Don't do none of that because she'll lose in the long run. Nowadays, marriage only means one thing to women. When they get a divorce, they want everything that you have or have. Period. That's what marriage is nowadays. They'll get married for 6 months, 4 months. I shouldn't have got married. I want a divorce. They take you to court and they get every fucking thing you got. They get every fucking thing you got. It's not worth to put nothing in her name when you get married nowadays. Don't co-sign nothing for her. Don't get no credit cards together. Don't open up no checking or savings accounts together. Don't even put a house together in your names because you don't have to. Fuck they rules. You don't have to. You don't have to put her name on no deed or no house with you. You don't. You buy the house, you put it under your name only. Period. You know, you don't gotta fuck Minnesota laws. You don't gotta do that shit, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. You get caught up because the way I see her, and I was telling them, the way I see her now, you maybe be married maybe 4 months. Maybe 4 months. And y'all don't got no kids. So yeah, she likes partying, she like drinking, she like going out. Your marriage is not gonna last, dude. I'm telling you right now. All of a sudden, you're gonna argue, she's gonna run outside, call the police or whatever county you live in, sheriff or deputies, whatever. I've been assaulted by my husband. You going to jail. You're gonna lose your job, your business, and your life is gonna be hell right after that, just like mine was. Everything you go through is gonna be hell. You're gonna be denied every fucking thing. That's the way Minnesota is. Minnesota, they say Minnesota nice. That's bullshit. Minnesota is the corruptedest motherfucking state in the world. Besides New York, Texas. I think Minnesota is number 2. California is number 1. New York is number 3. Chicago's number 4. Texas, number 5. Florida, number 6. You know? But no, man, don't do none of that shit, man. Don't put nothing in your names together, man. She likes partying, she like drinking and shit. She like going out with her friends. Don't do none of that shit. Don't do none of that shit. Because once you do, and she get busted cheating or kissing on some dude, and you told, and you look, what the fuck we get married for? I want a divorce. You lose everything in Minnesota. You lose everything. Everything. That's why every woman politician in Minnesota put down for no fault state. But it doesn't mean that women get 95%. I know this one fool, he got married twice. His first wife divorced him. Okay? She was cheating, but she was nice though. She was a pretty lady. I don't mean pretty like that. I mean, she was a nice person. And she married this other idiot that was from Chicago that he was talking to online. He said he met her online. And now he's divorced from her. Got to pay child support and all of this shit, you know? And she used to write shit up from his first divorce against his ex-wife, his first ex-wife. She used to do all of the legal shit for him, you know? All of the documents that she wrote up, she took to court for him to have filed. Ain't that some shit? She's always in people's business, you know. That's where this case came from that I'm fighting right now. That's where this case comes from. And no evidence whatsoever of a sworn affidavit and indicted from the grand jury, because these are felonies, you know, saying I threatened somebody. Didn't threaten nobody. I said straight the fuck out. I'm coming after you. What the law and the constitutional right gives me the right to do. It's not a threat. I got cops. I got videos I'm going to show in trial, man. I got cops threatening Spanish, blacks. We hate niggas. We want to shoot niggas. We're looking to shoot niggas. I got one guy, some Mexican guy getting pulled out of the car, getting punched in the head, all because of a traffic stop. This cop punching this Mexican in the head. See, things like that, man, you ain't got no right to live, man. Once you put your hands on me, I got the right by God's laws, not no man laws. I got the right by God's laws to defend and protect myself. I got that constitutional right. It's easy to kill a person. It's simple. You got so many ways to kill a person. So many ways to kill a person, you know? And people got to start defending themselves, man. Point blank. We got the right to defend ourselves. You put your hands on me wrong, I got a right to defend myself. I don't give a fuck if I take your life out or not. I got the right to defend myself. I got that constitutional right to defend myself. If you ain't putting these motherfuckers behind bars for life and death penalty, you can't do it to me. I got the same right as they got. Constitutional rights is equal. All humans are created equal. All men are created equal. No man is above another man. No man is above another man. Period. You know, wake up, people. Read your Constitution, man. Stop fighting these motherfuckers, man, in court. That's what you got to do. From the Republicans to Democrats, man. We got to get all of them motherfucking congressmen out of office and shit. Because the ones that's hurting, we are. We hurting. Corporations are not hurting. They make a profit during COVID. They use the excuse why the food prices are up and gas prices are up. No, let's start getting rid of these motherfuckers, man. It's all behind greed. Nothing behind greed. That's all that's behind greed. And everybody's losing their jobs now. Then you got a mortgage crisis that's about to hit. Oh yeah, mortgage crisis is about to hit again. It's time for another mortgage crisis. This is what I'm saying. It's time for another mortgage crisis to hit. Today is 11/2/2023. 11:41 p.m. A mortgage crisis is about to hit again. Oh yes, a mortgage crisis is about to hit again. You know, and it's our government's fault. Our politicians, our Republicans, our Democrats, our Congress. You know, that's whose fault it is. You know, because there's no need for nothing to be so high. We claim we United States is so beautiful, so great. That's a bunch of bullshit. Where's it great at? Where the fuck is the United States great at? And don't you white motherfuckers come on here and say a goddamn thing to me, because I'm tired of y'all. Y'all not from America. Every one of your ancestors is from Europe. They were child molesters, rapists, murderers. So don't come on here talking no shit, you know? And that's what they were. There's no ifs and no buts, you know? And the ones that suffered was the original people from this land, which were Indians. You know? They were from this land first. Oh, excuse me. Was Indians. This was all Indian land, you know? And it's funny because none of you son of bitches can pull up a deed that you own anything. That y'all own anything. And the government has no right to go back on deals that they made with the Indians back 50, 70, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, you know. That's the bottom line, man. Peace out, man. My sisters and brothers, assalamu alaikum, alaikum assalam. I wish y'all all the best of Allah's wishes and prayers. I pray for y'all. You know, if I had the way, I would fight for y'all, you know, but I'm stuck out here in this fucking lousy America, you know, the crookedest country in the world, you know, crookedest fucking country in the world, man. Peace out. I gotta take my meds, man.